right to left.
G'day, Rabbit and Julie Goodwin here from Star 104.5.
We love the Central Coast and we love our local sport, especially the Hunter Haval Black Diamond AFL.
If you're looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family, check out Hunter Haval and their range of affordable SUVs.
We want to give a massive thank you to all of the Hunter Haval Black Diamond AFL sponsors.
Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club,
GE Industrial Solutions, ISC,
Prime 7,
Bar TV Sports,
The Entertainment Grounds,
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery,
Marks Men Workforce.
Please support our sponsors that support us.
And we'll catch you on the radio 6 to 9 weekdays on Star 104.5.
Introducing luxury you won't have to sell the house for. The new Haval H6 from $29,990.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hilton Moore Oval on a pretty big day here for the Black Diamond Australian Football League. Terrigal, Avoca playing Nelson Bay in the Hunter Haval Black Diamond Cup. With me, as always, my partner in crime, the great Lucas J. Holmes. Louis, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, David. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, a beautiful day here in East Gosford for this clash between Hilton Moore Oval, at Hilton Moore Oval, rather, between Terrigal, Avoca and Nelson Bay, as it is, David, National Umpire Recognition Round. So this is what you see here with both sides coming together in the middle to shake the hands of the umpires.
And, of course, it's a massive day for Darryl Luck, Lucas. Would you like to talk us through that?
I shall. 300 games in just in the Black Diamond Cup for umpire Darryl Luck, the first player or umpire to reach that milestone, David. So a very big day here for not only the players, but also the umpires, with Darryl Luck doing his 300th Black Diamond Cup fixture, David.
I think Dane Aberdeen might be second on about 270 in the Cup fixtures. Nelson Bay, Adam Gunyer in 2, Ryan Redmond's 4, Mark Spencer 5, Ben Thompson 8, Joel Erickson 9, John Freund captain and 10, David Wood 12, Chris Eddy 13, Jaden Romer 14, James Bellman 19, Mark Everett 24, Billy Barton 25, Alec Clark 30, Chase Morrissey 31, Aaron Crouch 35, Matt Blythen 38, Gordon Young 40, Nick Kither 44, Cal Paulson 49 to 18, Kieran Lamont 55, Joey Becker 62, Ben Royal 66. I'm sorry, we'll do a Terrigal Avoca run through shortly. We're running close to time here, and we'll get you some. I'll run through the list probably at quarter time, Louis, if you get a brand. So I hope that's okay with you.
Yep,
umpires, please.
Yeah, and just the umpires, David. Field umpires, as mentioned, Darryl Luck in game 300, Jacob Turley, Lachlan Harnett. Boundary umpires, Mayo Luck, Kyan Everson, and goal umpires, David Chris Burrows and Jody Jackson.
And there's a pretty handy full forward guest starring for Terrigal Avoca today, one Drew Petrie of the North Melbourne and West Coast Football Clubs, great friend of Matthew Shortall. Lucas, it is sensational to have Drew Petrie playing in our league, even if it's a guest appearance. There's some good numbers here, and hopefully Drew has a good day and everybody enjoys their football.
Sure
And
is, David.
Good luck to your boys against Richmond today. Collingwood and Richmond on right now. Lucas will keep us up to date with scores at the breaks, please, Louis, if that's okay.
Sure. And just a heads up for everybody, Drew Petrie in jumper number 23 as well, ladies and gentlemen.
Kendall and the man Justin here. I'm from Bar TV, the usual suspects. He loves these Central Coast games, says our mate Justin. There are home games to him and me. The big bearded man's he's next, but he's come down from Newcastle, as has Lucas Holmes. Great to have you on board, gentlemen. Good luck this afternoon. Just in readiness here, Hunter Haval Black Diamond Cup. Terrigal Avoca, the league leaders, against Nelson Bay on a day when Nelson Bay women's side have lost their unbeaten status. The Newcastle City Stars have fixed them up by 25 points. Lucas Holmes will have some scores later, so it's a pretty big day all round. And Lucas, what about the weather? It is glorious here in East Gosford today.
Picturesque as Darryl Luck horns the ball off. Off we go, ladies and gentlemen. Over to you, David.
Jasper Davis up, gets the tap out clearly. Oh, over the shoulder, surely not. Just missed there on Grinya, who's not a big man anyway. Jimmy Webster with a handball. In there is Thompson in 8. Corbin Bond wide. Out here to Xander White. Switches, goes to Shortall. Like those grey-headed fellows, I can pick them, Lucas. That should be a mark, and he's very well taken. I reckon that's Erickson out there on the centre wing. 3/4 goes that with 40 metres. Lovely pass, actually, and finds Bellman. Big solid lad, James Bellman is. Crosses it and poorly poorly disposed of and kicks it straight down Chris Bishop's throat. That's not a real smart move. Bishop, as always, quality delivery to Brandon Thomas. Thomas will probably go to Petrie here. Petrie's one out, and he'll take that one. Oh, he's dropped it.
No, it's Petrie at the back, David.
Thank you. I could have sworn it was Petrie right in front there. And that's a behind. So a behind to Terrigal Avoca, and Terrigal Avoca 1 point, Nelson Bay 0-0. Apologies for my voice. I'm struggling a bit with ill health, so please persist with me during the afternoon. But yeah, we'll just get through as best we can.
And it looks like David Wood's almost the unfortunate one to go to Drew Petrie early as well, David, just from that contest.
Thank you, Lucas. Left-hand handball comes out. Shortle screws it across the goals. Should be a mark, and it is
Fleming, David.
Thank you, Lucas. No, it's actually Brandon Thomas. Comes in short. No, couldn't get hit Bishop on the full. Over the shoulder, possibly. No, not given. Here's a chance. Thomas left-footed, misses, and picked off actually by Ericsson in the goal square. And Ericsson goes wide over towards the tents. Mark taken by Spencer. Gets that long. Mark, yeah, good mark. If not, it's a free kick, Billy Barton, who's, I think, been Nelson Bay's best footballer this year, Lucas, clearly.
Yeah.
Thompson goes driving with a low ball, superb kick. Looked good, but picked off easily by Jared Flint. Flint goes wide, off to Lockie White. Great to see Lockie White back after a debilitating ankle injury. Lovely family, the White family. Went and interviewed them earlier this year. Just great people, really good football people, and terrific human beings, all of them. Handball, off to Jack Grimmett. He'll have too much pace. Can he settle? Does he square it up or go for a goal? Behind. He actually had a ping there, Louis. And we have two behinds. Terrigal Avoca, two behinds. Nelson Bay yet to score. 2.5 minutes gone. Hilton Moore Oval, Hunter Vale, Black Diamond Cup. With Lucas Holmes, Kendall and Justin from Bar TV, my name is David Redden. It's a privilege to be here with you, with Drew Petrie, guest starring for the Terrigal Avoca Football Club.
And they've gone straight for the zone defence from the kick-out as well. Terrigal Avoca, you'll see that for most of the afternoon.
They have a lot of structures, don't they, Lucas Holmes? Touched off the mark, danger, Grinya, low to ground, lovely hands. Thompson sells a dummy, goes back to Grinya, goes with the handball. This is just what Terrigal Avoca want. Look at this swarming defence. Grinya under all sorts. He's in more trouble than the Labor Party is in Longman this afternoon. Out that ball comes. Eddie gets it back now. Left footer, smothered by Jason Van Dam. Ball comes back here. Bit of to and fro. Gang tackle, Grimmin and Xander in there. Dan Houston's in there in 22. He's left-footed. Left-handed as well. Bishop sitting at the back here. Will he get the ball? Bond? No. Lachlan White screws it across goal. Big marking contest there. Nothing taken by Pete Van Dam. Delahunty worked out of it by Ericsson cleverly. If that comes to Crouch, he's going to go across the goals, are they? This is dangerous. Dangerous play. Hasn't cleared the area yet. Back come the Panthers. Petrie, short. Actually should have taken that Shortle. That was a chest mark. He's entitled to take that. Smothered by Shortle. Can they get it back there towards the goals? I would have thought he's in trouble, but he gets out of it. Lamond. Big man Lamond. Very hard to bring down, I would have thought. Mark taken by Barton, who Lucas Holmes was nominated to start at centre forward, and in fact has. Goes down the line. Goes with a shorter ball. White went to mark. Possibly could have gone the punch. I would have thought, I'm like the bloke at the back of the play there. Could have been holding the man. Darryl Lux says mine, and we'll have a stoppage.
And on positions as well, David, you have Jaden Reimer, one out and full forward with Will McKellar taking care of him at this early stage in this first quarter with just over 4.5 minutes gone.
Thank you. Davis, right-handed. Troy was being direct out of that, I thought. Thompson. Nelson Bay getting the ball forward in whichever way they can. Jason Van Dam crashes the pack and goes large down the line. Nice chest mark there taken by Wood. Correction. Blythe. Crouch. Goes as long as he can. That's a good roost. That's 55 in the fly. And a great mark, Jason Van Dam. Van Dam's gone. Bishop, this is dangerous. He'll hit someone. Don't you worry about that. And does and finds 14, who I haven't got on my list, Lucas. Can we go and check that, please? And Mark taken on the far side. Brandon Thomas, I reckon. Yeah, it's Thomas.
Yeah, Brandon Harper, David, in 14.
Harper's in 14,
yep.
Sorry. That is my bad, ladies and gentlemen. So 14 for Harper. Thomas. 45-degree angle. It's got the distance. What's the direction like? Off to the side. Another behind now, Terrigal Avoca. Terrigal Avoca 3 behind. Nelson Bay yet to score. By the time this ball's kicked, there'll be 6 minutes elapsed time in quarter number 1. Here at Hilton Moore Oval. If you're not doing anything this afternoon in East Gosford in this area, get down here and enjoy some good footy on a glorious day. It's perfect weather for footy. Saturday afternoon, football at its best, Lucas Holmes.
Sure is, David. Kicking's gone long to the outer side. How it's intercepted by Terrigal Avoca there, David.
And paid. Sorry, Louis, to talk over.
No,
that's my bad.
Fair enough.
Jasper Davis tackle. After Petrie had gone up in a marking contest, an effective tackle. That'll please Bishop. Davis is being forced to go round to his mark by Darryl Luck.
That's what it was.
Bishop's in and around here, and he's going to get an easy kick. Turns inside on his left. Goes low and picked off. I don't think he got that fully. Picked off by Chris Eddy, who for mine has filled out a bit this year. He's got a bit bigger upper body at the moment and looking in very, very fit as Chris Eddy. Oh, great mark! What a hanger!
Reimer.
Oh, he must have put hands on the back. That's all I can assume. I thought that was a hanger to Reimer. So, won't get to see that in replay. We'll follow the umpire's decision. Petrie lets it bounce. Too strong. Gets his second kick of the afternoon. It's picked off this time. Jimmy Webster goes long. Up towards the square. At the back! Has he taken that mark inside the line? Umpire says yes. Now, Thomas has got 10 metres, as Lucas Holmes will tell you, where he can run around. I reckon he'll go check side here. Played some good football as a younger man in the Ashton district, Lucas Holmes, and his father's a legend. He's going check side, runs inside a bit, and I think that's a goal. Wait for your goal, umpire. Correct. First goal of the day to Terrigal Avoca. Terrigal Avoca 139. Nelson Bay yet to score. Lucas Holmes.
Hunter Val. Looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Val and the range of affordable SUVs. Starting from just $22,990, drive away with a 5-year warranty and 5 years roadside assistance. Hunter Val. Book your test drive today.
On the Black Diamond Facebook page during the week, Hunter Val had some clearance of sales of some demonstrator vehicles. And that's the one there that Lucas Holmes. There's some phenomenal deals at Melbourne Street at East Maitland. There's some vehicles there at 20 grand, 29 grand for some of the higher models. Melbourne Street, East Maitland. Can I have that phone number, please? 4999 6699. So Hunter Val, East Maitland. Houston gets a nice right hand to that. Bishop, who's running a muck at the moment. That will be his 5th touch. Magnificent pass off his non-dominant to Thomas. And Thomas looking lively at the moment. And he'll kick from well inside 50. Just kicked a nice check side goal. Yes, could you give us a score check from Johnny Mott, please? Louis, while we're waiting. Thomas. Or show me the score, whichever you like. Thomas will probably end up kicking from 45. Gets a piece of it. Is it off to the right? Off to the left, actually. And touch through with Petrie having 2 men on him. They did a good job then. Terrigal Avoca 1-4-10. Nelson Bay yet to score. Short ball comes out, hits his man and finds Thompson. That's almost 50. I agree with you, Thompson. That could well have been a march down the field. Ball comes to the centre. Flint in 60. Goes at 45 degrees. Looking for Grimmond. Would have thought kicking Grimmond one in a 3 contest isn't wise. Eddie too strong in that upper body. That's a throw. And who's made that tackle? Jack Grimmond. Well done. Lovely tackle. Too much pressure from Terrigal Avoca. And this is how they're going to get into the finals. Bishop has them all rotating through the midfield and putting enormous pressure in the forward 50. Something that Richmond has mastered in the last couple of years, Lucas, to great effect at the MCG in particular.
Great segue, David. Richmond 3 goals straight 18, leading Collingwood 2 goals 1-13 after 20 minutes.
Thank you, Jack Grimmond punches it. Does it make the distance? It doesn't. Another behind. Terrigal Avoca 1-5-11. Nelson Bay yet to score. There'll be 10 minutes elapsed time when David Wood takes this kick. David Wood kicked a famous goal, Lucas Holmes, in a game where he broadcast at Newcastle #1, did he not? To put Nelson Bay in front in that amazing comeback.
Hands in the back there and was paid spot on there.
Who's getting the kick?
Pete Van Dam.
Yep, okay.
It was against Barton, I think, David.
Van Dam up! Mark couldn't quite be taken. The hands haven't been that sticky. Thompson down the line, low driving ball. That's a mark to Van Dam. He touched that and then got next touch on it. Van Dam squares. Beautiful pass to Grimmond. Gee, their skills are good today, except kicking a goal perhaps. Grimmond wide off to Xander. Correction, Lachlan. Lachlan White chips that up, looking for and finding Matthew Shortall. Now, Shortall's well within kicking distance here. And Shortall will look to put their second goal on the board to get them to 2-5. Next week, Lucas Holmes, 1v2, Cardiff v Terrigal Avoca at Royal Hillsborough. Nice close game for you, my friend.
Yes.
What, 10 minutes to Hillsborough or 15?
15 minutes to Hillsborough, then heading down to Moore Park, David.
Yes. Shortall. He's laced that. Waiting on the goal umpire. Hang on there. This is interesting. Just conferring here, and it is a behind. So 1-6-12, just off to the side. Yet to score Nelson Bay. Out that ball comes Chase Morris. He takes a nice mark. Short ball. Barton, lovely pair of hands, first time. Billy Barton goes long. Has he put that out of bounds in the full? He has not. That must have hit the line, I reckon. So, ball just past centre wing. Nelson Bay attacking side. Terrigal Avoca up by 12 points. Other games around the league today in the Cup. Singleton hosting Gosford. Warners Bay over just around the corner to Lake Macquarie at Tulkabar Park, Louis. Barton paying for a free, didn't get it. Punch comes out there from Harper. Bishop, right-hand handball, doesn't hit the mark, actually, which is most unusual. Lamb, left footer, got to come from behind. Thomason does the defensive work. Lamond, and ends up being a clever kick from Lamond and finding Bellman. Handball, good football here from Nelson Bay. Lamond. Jason Van Dam, gone! Great tackle, Jaden Reimer. Took too long. And Reimer's got a chair. He's well within kicking distance, Lucas.
He sure is, David. I was about to say before he made that tackle, quite an interesting positioning there from Sean McGrath to put Jaden Reimer at full forward as Terrigal Avoca are dominating around the clearances, but it might just pay the dues here with Jaden Reimer lining up from no more than about 35 or 40 metres directly in front, David.
Reimer. Usually a reasonable kick. And that's a goal. Well done, Jaden Reimer. Good hard work, good effective tackle. Goal to Jaden Reimer. Nelson Bay, 1 straight 6. Terrigal Avoca, 1-6-12 after 13 minutes. Lucas J.
Belmont 16-footer Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook, the home of the Black Diamond AFL.
Lucas, you remember a discussion that we had with Sean McGrath after one game where he liked to switch Luke Price and Jaden Reimer in previous seasons at full forward, and it worked to devastating effect. A little bit different in class here, but we should see when Reimer does come on the ball. Good body work, actually, from Lamont, getting it, Davis out the way. Won that contest clearly. Bond. Want to get on his left. Goes to his left hand. Jason Van Dam a bit quicker getting rid of this time. And a lovely pass. That should be taken. I thought he took him out of that. Good. And not tackled made, so he can continue on. Drop ball there now. Lachlan's got rid of that footy. Over to Houston. Gets the ball up to centre half forward. And well in front. And Harper's just going to tell him that I'm going to take my time. And he's almost dead in front, I reckon. I don't think he's almost any angle here. Slight breeze picking up.
Shoulder the responsibility. They had some wingmen coming through on this closed commentary box side, David, but shoulder the responsibility, and we'll go back, as you said, with no angle to speak of, and try and slot this through.
Terrigal Avoca through Harper. Gets it up. I reckon that's off to the right. Another behind. Terrigal Avoca 1-7-13. Chris Bishop and the team will not be happy. Nelson Bay 1 straight wood, almost straight down the ground. Looking for Lamond. Big man. Good tackle. Yeah, and gone, I reckon. Yeah, excellent tackle there made by Creswell in 26. Creswell goes short and finds Thomas, who's looking very lively today. That player is within 10, umpire. A couple of these plays, Freund's right on it. I mean, Thomas goes short and left. Couldn't hit Petrie. Petrie comes back for more. Gets the hands in the air. Gets it out with a left footer. Legal. Now that's Creswell. He'll square this. He won't go for goal. Unselfish. And it will produce a goal, I reckon. to Kurt Fleming. Well, there's a benefit of unselfishness, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, Creswell, and Fleming with a check side kick from inside the square. Kicks Terrigal Avoca's second. Terrigal Avoca's 2-7-19. Nelson Bay 1 straight 6. Lucas J.
GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the past 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Also proud sponsor of the BDAFL women's competition.
Thank you, Lucas. We had a great day at the Women's Representative Carnival last week at Ferradale Park. Well done to everybody. Mel Johnson and all the team up there at Port Stephens put on a great day. Should be very proud of yourselves. Davis Barton's gone into the ball now, Louis. Let's see how he goes. Davis right-handed. Out from Grinya. Creswell with the man with the little hair bun there. Going forward on his left. Oh, good push off Thomas. Completely legal, working on Gordon Young. Hands to the chest, Lucas, and with ball was in 5 metres. That's how you do it via the rules. Now, Thomas, we have a great view on Justin's Bar TV pictures here of this one. Now, just judging by this wind, I think he needs to kick it to the left-hand side of the goals and just swerve it back in. Let's see how Thomas works away. A lot of kicks have gone to the right today. And there's another one. Just holds up there. 2-8-20 Terrigal Avoca. Nelson Bay 1 straight 6. Elapsed time is 17 minutes into this first quarter. Hunter Haval Black Diamond Cup coming to you from Hilton Moore Oval in East Gosford. Bar TV Sports, the best in the business, with my partner in crime, Lucas J. Holmes. Short, dangerous down the middle. Gee, had to be good there, Eddie, and got it first time. Grinya running off him. Runs square, now straightens up 2 bounces. Got some time. Let's see if he can hit down here. That's out of bounds on the full this time, I think. Yes, and called. I thought the umpire had his hand in the air straight, but it was a out of bounds call on. Jason Van Dam's going to pick this football up. Just forward of centre wing for Jason. Kieran Lamond on the mark. He's ignored Shortle. Play down here. I think that might be Petrie this time. One-handed. Great grab, Petrie. Too big, too strong. One of the first time he's got one-on-one, Lucas. To show he's a big man. Lucas bumped into him earlier on. He said he's a big unit, isn't he, Louis?
He sure is, David.
And Drew Petrie feeds Peter Van Dam. Peter Van Dam will enjoy that, being fed by Drew Petrie. And again, just with the way this little breeze is going, Pete Van Dam's got to hit this just inside the left goalpost. A lot of balls have fallen away to the right-hand side of your screen. Justin's pictures. We'll let Justin's pictures do the talking. Pete Van Dam. He actually come off the side of the boot and falls right. Almost a mark taken there. Now a snap. You are kidding me. Just waiting to see who that was. It's just waiting to see if he can get back here. Brandon Thomas. Brandon Thomas's second goal. A very tight snap. And we have Terrigal Avoca 3-8-26. Nelson Bay 1 straight 6. Louis.
ISC have been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel for elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the official apparel partner of the Black Diamond AFL.
Coming up in August, we have lots and lots of football for you. Broadcasting finals in a couple of different places. I'll tell you where the schedule is at a break. Oh, 2 feet. Davies has jumped off 2 feet and still got the ball. Arrogance, I like it. Oh, good tackle. Jimmy Webster, who's almost had to do nothing today. A lot of other players have done a lot today. Petrie, left-hand handball. Is that a kick to Houston? Beautiful work. And the writing's on the wall at the moment. This could get very ugly later on. Dan Houston a goal. Terrigal Avoca 4-8 from 12 shots in the first quarter. And Nelson Bay 1 straight 6. Louis?
Prime 7. In 2018, Prime 7 has every big game, live and free. Coverage includes 4 games every round in 7, mate, including Friday and Saturday night and Sunday afternoons. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
I'll have the Giants on when I get home to my place to do our articles this afternoon. Louis, I'll have to go and search for that. I'll just wait for Louis to come back. His sheets have gone flying because he's had a folder malfunction, everyone. Davis and Barton in the ruck. It's 20 minutes gone, elapsed time. Up goes Davis again, jumps off 2 feet and again gets the ball. He's obviously very confident. Webster eventually picks it up. Lots of attention played to him. Jason Van Dam crashes through. Left-hand handball. Check side kick, Xander White. Not mark taken. Magnificently sharked by Bishop. This should spring plays. Will be out in the open. Great mark. Thomas is just sticky hands today. He's looking I think he's got rid of a couple of niggling injuries, Thomas.
Yeah, he's been very good form early, has Brandon Thomas. He lines up just around the 50-metre arc there, David.
I think he's inside, Louis. Bit hard to tell, to be honest. He's not great. Yeah, he's inside it. But he hit the left of that goal. Drops to the right. Now who's at ground level? David Wood's the first. Oh, he's missed it completely. Delahunty one hands out. Oh, that should have been pinged. And the ball's gone out of bounds. So, yeah, as I was saying, there are some finals in August. Lucas and I will be quite busy. We've got Saturday, Sunday football 2 weeks in a row, which will be great fun for us to have a full weekend of broadcasting. Oh, push out, I thought. Barton gets an over the hand job. Oh, almost. That's gone, is it? And Pete Van Dam the kick. It is. Pete Van Dam's got rewarded for a successful tackle there. I think he's going to have to come round left to the left of screen on the angle. I think he's just going to have to come around the left on the angle, I think. Yeah, just a touch here, and he comes. Van Dam didn't kick the last one well. He's in much closer this time. Again, left side of the main goal post with this breeze. Is that going to come back enough? And it's the post. Terrigal Avoca 4-9-33. Nelson Bay 1 straight 6. Elapsed time is 22 minutes gone. Wood comes wide. Lovely work there. Good spread from Nelson Bay. Blythe gets the easy mark.
Barton calling it for it down the line, David.
Didn't hit the kick properly. Webster intercepts. They don't have much time left, Terrigal. Need to get in quickly. Really, actually, that was a poor option from Webster. Picked off easily by Reedman, who comes wide up towards us. And no mark taken by Morrissey. And we'll have a ball in 22 3/4 minutes into the quarter. Of course, just a reminder that it's 20 minutes, but it's timed, isn't it, Lucas?
It is.
It's not 20 minutes elapsed time. That's why we always make a point of seeing how much elapsed time is on the clock. From behind, over the top of Davis. Freund in there trying not to get ping for holding the ball. Webster could get done himself. Jasper Davis, very quick hands. Off to O'Brien. Squares it. And that's a mark, I reckon. Brandon Thomas has just had sensational hands today, Lucas, in this first quarter. He could have kicked 4 or 5 in this quarter if his kicking boots were on, but his hands have been great for a small man.
He's definitely been one of the best players out on the park for Terrigal Avoca in his first quarter, David, as he goes back once again.
Absolutely, mate. Sorry. Got a kick at left side. He's got that to the left side. He might have tugged that a bit and has. Another behind. So Terrigal Avoca at a pretty decent quarter. It's 4-10-34. Nelson Bay 1 straight 6. Give him 4 out of 10 for shooting, I reckon. Coming wide towards Barton and gets him on the chest. Flint just couldn't cut him off. Barton and gets that one down long. And Morrissey gets picked off by Jason Van Ham, who just can't quite hold on to the mark. Ball on centre wing. True centre wing, actually. This ground's in superb condition. I'd suggest to you it's quite firm underfoot, but if you can have a look at it, that's an indication of what some of the weather we've had in the Central Coast in the last few weeks. It has been dry and very pleasant. Oh, over the top from Davis. I do hope our friends in Western New South Wales get some rain soon, Lucas. Parts of that, and I know you would know that living there as you do. It's very dry. Van Dam gets rid of Lamond. Warren, he's left. Beats a tackle. Comes back to Lachlan White. Good to see him playing again. Bishop's got to go. He's got 1-on-2. Can't quite take the mark. Grignard squares it, and it's all Terrigal. Oh, he's lost that in the sun. Webster sitting at back pocket. I don't know why, but swoops like a thief in the night. Fleming, right-hand handball down the line. He may get the ball back. Bond goes backwards. Looks at he's always got Ben behind him in their structures. Short will go to centre wing and finds Harper at the end of the quarter. Terrigal Avoca 4-10-34. Nelson Bay 1 straight 6. For Terrigal Avoca, goals to Kurt Fleming, Brandon Thomas, who's got 2, and Dan Houston, and a goal for Jaden Reimer. Lucas Holmes.
A very dominant first quarter there from Terrigal Avoca, only allowing 1 or 2 inside 50s from Nelson Bay, but with poor shooting, which Chris Bishop, I'm sure, will touch on with 4 goals 10. We'll be looking for a better second half in the rest of this match, David.
Thank you, Lucas Holmes, for your expert comments as always. We'll have a short break here at Hilton All Over. I'll be back with you shortly. Thank you. Welcome back here to Hilton Moore Oval with some updated scores for you, courtesy of Lucas J. Holmes and the missing iPad. Thank you for picking that up during the week, mate. I do appreciate that.
No dramas.
Me being a knucklehead. Newcastle City, this is at Adelaide Street Oval. Newcastle City 5 straight 30, Kelowna Vale 2-1-13. Cardiff 4 straight 24, Maitland yet to score. Singleton 4-2-26, Gosford 2-7-19. And at Terrigal Park, Warners Bay 4-2-26, Lake Macquarie 1-1-7. Lucas, just an update for you. Thank you for those. Finals. At this stage, our finals roster will be day 1 on the Saturday. The first finals will be Maitland. Day 2, Wyong Lakes. Then the preliminary finals at Newcastle #1 Sports Ground on the Saturday preliminary final weekend. Off to Adelaide Street for the Sunday. And then our grand final, Newcastle #1. So we'll be calling games from Maitland, Wyong Lakes, which for both of us will be our first games calling at either of those two grounds. Then headquarters at #1 Sports Ground. Cannot wait to call preliminary finals at Adelaide Street Oval. That will be a great day. And then grand final back to Newcastle #1. So that's the roster at this stage,
Yep.
Louis.
Yeah, speaking during the week too, David, yesterday, my younger sister Molly's 13th birthday, so happy birthday, Moll. Hope you had a great day.
How's her hand? Is she recovering well with that?
Yeah,
hand?
out of the cast now, David, so back to her cheerleading that she loves so much.
Oh, very good. Happy birthday, Molly.
Yeah.
You had a safe drive down from Bathurst on Thursday, mate?
I did.
Good.
Traffic's not too bad when you leave mid-morning, David. Beautiful day for a drive.
As long as you miss Sydney Peak, I'll make this set.
Oh, yeah, that's not too fun. I've had experience with that in the past. Back at here, out for the second quarter, however, David, you'd expect Nelson Bay to try and get Jaden Ryman more on the ball, as we'll go back to the other window.
Now, this is really interesting. I'm wondering if Reimer is wounded. I have heard a bit of scuttlebutt that he's struggling with some injury. I don't think he's there again. Oh, is that him at the back of the square? Yeah, it is. It's behind Jasper Davis. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. So Reimer onto the ball. Jasper Davis two-handed out, trying to find Webster, misses him. Freund, brother of Harrison Freund, who played for Nelson Bay last year. Intercepted, long ball, 1-on-2, I reckon. Pete Van Dame's got it off the ground. Now, who's in front here? Handball comes out. That's Fleming. Can he kick it on his left? And another behind Terrigal Avoca. Terrigal Avoca 4-11-35. And then Nelson Bay 1 straight 6. 4-11's remarkable shooting on a day like this, which isn't too bad. It's a slight breeze, not too bad. It's not like a couple of grand finals that Lucas and I have called at #1 Oval where there was a howling gale, Louis.
Yeah.
Down the line, Nelson Bay. Lovely grab now, and the quality comes out, Jaden Reimer. Grinia running off him as you would. Ericsson. Bullet. Down the line, lovely pass, Ericsson. He's actually got very good foot skills on that right foot of his. Ball towards half forward and picked off by this suffocating Terrigal Avoca defence.
And it's Fleming on this outer side all by himself, overbeating Beaters and Ord, and goes back down the line.
And finds his man, actually. Pete Van Dam goes as long as he can, as quickly as he can. That'll get picked off, though. Oh, missed the mark. He can't do that. Petrie seizes on a handball. Shortall. It's a one-on-one here. Thomas and takes the mark on the Combox side. Now, with this breeze again, ladies and gentlemen, Thomas at the reverse end will need to kick this to the right-hand side of the goal. The prevailing breeze is an offshore here. It's a most unusual one. It's going across the ground from Combox side to the other side of the ground. So we're not too far from the sea here in the water, but this one's, the breeze is offshore. Thomas from 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Looks like that's worked out back beautifully. And another goal to Brandon Thomas. Brandon Thomas, 3 majors and scores. Terrigal Avoca 5-11-41. Nelson Bay 1 straight 6. Lucas James Holmes.
Star 104.5 FM. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and has proudly supported the Black Diamond AFL since 2005.
That they have. I had an interesting drive up the other night where there were a couple of accidents, and I had to go to a meeting at 16 footers actually, and Star FM giving us great advice as to where the bad traffic was. Most appreciated. Lucas, just our umpires again. Who, along with Darryl Luck, our central umpires are?
Umpires, Jacob Turley, Lachlan Hunnat, and as you said, David, Darryl Luck.
300 games of Black Diamond football for Darryl Luck today. What an achievement for the 48-year-old. Van Dam, this is looking ominous for mine. Magnificent. Fleming hits Petrie, and Petrie will come back here and take a shot at his... This is actually his first serious shot at goal. Our mate Stats tipped me during he sent me a text yesterday, and he reckons that Drew might kick 5-2, Louis.
Yeah.
So.
And this distance will not be on a class athlete of Drew Petrie, David.
Hits it
Oh.
and kicks it. Lovely work, Petrie. First goal to the guest superstar. And Terrigal Avoca, 6-11-47. Nelson Bay, 1 straight 6. Lucas Holmes.
Bar TV Sports. Bar TV Sports specialise in the live streaming and broadcasting of local sport, including the Black Diamond AFL. Bar TV Sports, making your game the main game.
We've got Kendall and Justin here with us, doing a great job as always. Guys, I hope you're well, and thank you for your work during the year. And I hope we've got a big final series coming up. Lots of football, actually. Lots and lots of games in a very short, compressed period. It's going to be an exciting final series with a top 7. And one thing I'll try and do when we come back at halftime is explain how a top 7 works. I know a lot of people have been asking how it works. I'll go and explain how it works. Sorry, not I. We'll explain it. How's that? Do you have to wear that Collingwood hat, Lucas? It's very disconcerting. Lamont gets a tap out. No comment from Lucas. Grignard tackled immediately.
Oh, no, I will comment. I'll just wait for the perfect time, David.
Okay. Chris Eddy, left-footed. Well grabbed. Petrie, lovely grab. Starting to get room on his own at the moment. That's dangerous. Van Dam's short, and he tries to find him. Oh, beautiful grab, but an impossible angle. He's gone. Gone the unselfish route. I think that's Bishop at the back, is it? Well covered. It was Bishop sneaking in. Freund. Reimer. Under pressure, Chris Eddy. And they're away. Well done, the Marlins. They've got out of there. Pushing the back against Bond. Well picked by Lucas Holmes. James Bellman gets the mark. Back on the fullers, correct. The perfect disposal there.
They got numbers in the corridor here, David, with Ryman push up.
He should be going square. Yeah, you're right. I looked up at live and I could just see a blue and yellow in the centre, Louis. Well spotted. Oh, Flint didn't quite mark that one. Barton. Chance for Nelson Bay. And rushed through, which was legal. He was under enormous pressure. Lamb. Score check. Nelson Bay.
6-11-47 Terrigal Avoca leading Nelson Bay 1-1-7 after 5.5 minutes, David.
Thank you, Louis McKellar. Almost casually does that. Finds Davis on his own. Told to take it above his head and does.
It's been very impressive, Jasper Davis, in the games we've covered here, David, as Bishop goes over the top of Shortle.
Indeed, especially in the absence of Sam Ellis, Lucas. Goes long. Thomas at the back. Pushes off. Chance. Now, if anyone's got the ability to kick this, he has. Again, goes unselfishly. Look how clever that is. Just wanting to see. I think that's Dan Houston, is it? No, it's actually Thomas Creswell. I do beg your pardon, Tom. So, Creswell, left footer. Just on the edge of the square. He should kick this easily. As Lucas Holmes would say, Lucas, straight over the
umpire's hat, David.
Thank you. Thomas Creswell, a goal. Terrigal Avoca starting to look ominous at the moment. Well, they were looking ominous halfway through the first quarter, really. 7-11-53. Nelson Bay 1-1-7. Hilton Moore Oval, East Gosford. Hunter Haval Black Diamond Cup. Lucas Holmes and David Redden with you. Next week, Lucas. Cardiff and Terrigal Avoca at Hillsborough.
Sure, David. One of the last games remaining for Cardiff at Royal Hillsborough before they're moving to the Pasterfield complex for sure this time next season.
They finish home against Terrigal Avoca and then the Doggies. So a nice way to finish for them. And really good test. I know Chris Bishop's looking forward to getting up and playing Cardiff at that particular ground, where in the last game last year, Terrigal Avoca got beat, if you remember. Reimer scouting beautifully. Jesus, smooth mover. Gets it out. That's Thompson, who's actually a handy player, Thompson. Every single time we see him play, he does constructive things. Built like a brick outhouse. Is that 50? No, not 50. Mark at the back, not paid.
Shortall's on this outer side all by his lonesome, David.
Now, he's got enough room here, I think, to have at least one bounce. Let's see. So, Freund's trying to get to him, and he's done it well here. Freund, he's cut him. Oh, actually, Freund should be really pleased there, because he's just stayed in that contest enough and put enough pressure on Shortall that he had a look up, and the ball's gone out of bounds. So, well done, Freund. Lucas Holmes had caught it. Shortall had an absolute paddock. Nelson Bay get a clearance they otherwise would not have had.
Just a little hesitation, and it came off Shortall's boot, which allowed it to go out of bounds.
Davis, right-handed, is killing him in the ruck at the moment. Bishop goes with a mulligan and completely misses with a right footer. Tapped out. Creswell goes forward. It's 2-on-2 contest here. Bishop roving. Petrie handball off. Thomas should finish. Waiting for the goal umpire. He's coming back to the centre, which I think means a goal. Brandon Thomas is kick 4, and he's on double figures today. I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he's in great nick. Terrigal, Avoca 8-11-59. Nelson Bay 1-1-7. Lucas J.
The entertainment grounds on the Central Coast. The entertainment grounds has quickly established itself as the premier events location on the Central Coast. The entertainment grounds is an indoor and outdoor multi-purpose community facility for functions, events, festivals, weddings, exhibitions, as well as horse racing.
Well, football's gone into the deep back there, and the boundary umpire's just got the football. And just a slight delay in proceedings here. Terrigal Avoca up by 52 points and showing no sign of taking the foot off the pedal here. Only 9 minutes gone. Lucas, MCG.
Collingwood down by 7 points, David. Jeremy Howe going off with a head knock, but has gone back to the bench, so I'm not sure if he'll take any further part this afternoon or not.
Thank you. Mayala gives the football back. And we're away again. Davis. Now let's see if he goes with that double-footed jump of his. Normally ruckmen shouldn't. They should be going off one leg. Yeah, he does this time. He gets it left down. Must be handy to have a ruckman who can use both his hands, I tell you. Jimmy Webster down the ground. Gets a scrubby kick out, really. Thomas. Beautifully picked up. Does he have a ping? No. Again, squares it up. Shortall's got time. Can he keep this one in? He can't. Every time they get tucked in a pocket, this is a lesson to other clubs. Every time they're tucked in, Lucas, they square it up, don't they? Every time.
Well, no, and that's not only from just them hastily putting on the boot and squaring up. They've got players on the outer side streaming through the middle to get the numbers to the top of the goal square, David.
Yeah, they're backdoor cutting up all the time. Webster's in there. This is dangerous. Jimmy! Goal to the class act. The Triple Elliot Davey medalist opens his account today. Terrigal Avoca shooters coming back very nicely here. 9-11-65. Nelson Bay 1-1-7. Lucas Holmes.
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy, the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. They're also proud supporters of the Black Diamond AFL.
That they are. Well done, James Webster. Over the shoulder kick. Bread and butter for him, really, in his wonderful career. Had a knee-full game this year for the Swannies, which is great to see.
Yeah. So did Aidan Watling and Reed Van Hoysteed in the same game, David.
Watling is killing it. Watling is rapidly developing at Newcastle City, and you wonder how much longer he's going to be in navy blue and white, Lucas, to be honest with you. Then again, I didn't think that Jack Hardman would be playing for Warners Bay this year. I thought he'd get picked up, but no such luck yet for Jack. And gone. Oh, he's thrown that ball back with real aggression, and will there be 50? No, Luck's getting everyone out the way. He can, and now no free kick against Nelson Bay because there were players from Terrigal Avoca nearby. Bishop's flat out dropped that. That'll be a schooner tonight, I'll tell you. They will not be looking forward to watching that replay or Chris Wayne on Bar TV. Ball goes forward. Houston taps it over with his right. Crouch, who we've commentated on Crouch before at Dick Burl. He can play. He's played a lot of good footy. Mark coming in. Thomas, and a bit easy at the moment. And Thomas will go back here and try and kick his 5th goal in a half of football. As I said earlier on, he's on clearly for mine on double figures. They just haven't got anyone to match up with him. The only one that could is Eddie. Eddie, who's Mark's taller plays, he's got the speed to go with him. Thomas just outside the square and has kicked his 5th. 5 goals in a superb display by Brandon Thomas, and he could have kicked 8 if his kicking boots had been on. Terrigal Avoca, who remarkably were 4 goals 11 and now 10 goals 11. 71. Nelson Bay 117. LJ.
Marksman Workforce. Marksman Workforce have been great supporters of the Black Diamond AFL since 2016.
We thank Marksman Workforce and all of our wonderful sponsors. Again, those specials that are at Hunter Haval, they were published on the Black Diamond website during the week. Get along to Melbourne Street in East Maitland and also to Hunter Haval at Cardiff and get them to do a deal for you. There's some beautiful looking cars. Those at Warners Day, President Todd has got one, and it's a great bit of kit. They're just superb cars. And hopefully that we can really make it, Hunter Haval can make a massive dent in the Australian market with their prices. I think you'll find they will. Harper's gone into the ruck here, Louis, with Lamond. Is Reimer on the ball? He must be on the left-hand side of the screen. Yeah, there he is. Now, is that over the shoulder to Lamond? It is. In fact, it was Bellman in the ruck. Thompson, sorry. Reimer wasn't there. Lamond goes right. Good mark. Good speed. Handball comes out. Reimer gets that forward. And almost a mark, not paid. Lamb. Grimmond. Here's the speed. Hands. Out wide, another one. Grimmond putting another speed on. One bounce. Thompson lines him up. Can't quite get to him. Handball comes out. Fleming, who's run 100 metres to get that football. Good transfer of ball here. This is dangerous of backman. Great mark, Christopher Eddy, who's interestingly gone on to Brandon Thomas. Picked off there by Xander. No, Jack Grimmond. Comes squared as Jack. Off to Delahunty. Over here to Lachlan. Short. Hits his man as always. Guess who, Lucas?
Brandon Thomas, David. Takes the mark just inside forward 50. Just on the 50, rather, David. Will kick from about 52 or 53 metres directly in front of the goals. Looking for goal number 6 in this terrific first half display from Brandon Thomas.
I don't think he's very happy that Patrick Gillingham kicked a dozen last week. He's going to kick from inside 50, actually. This will test him with distance. And slides away to the right. Terrigal Avoca 10-12-72. Nelson Bay 1-1-7. Crouch takes a mark on the right. 14 and a half minutes elapsed time gone in the second quarter. Crouch, who I reckon's played some serious football this time. He knows he's wearing around a park, I tell you. Might be a veteran, but he's got pretty handy skills still. Yeah, they'd be right to tackle him. He was over the ball. Eriksson dragged out of it. He was over the ball as well. Really tough contest in tight. Ball coming out, left-hand handball. Bishop scouting by, doesn't get the footy. There'll be a wall here of Terrigal Avoca players. Gets it forward. Oh, good mark. I think I know who that might be. Oh, no, I've got it wrong. I thought it was 23. It's not. It's there. Rolls-Royce, James Webster. Lucas kicking from 35 straight in front. Would that be accurate?
I would give you that one, David, yes. Expect a quality player out of James Webster to pot this over. Distance will not be an issue at all. Only 35 metres, as David just said. Push that to the right.
Goal.
That sneaks it in the right goal post. Another goal. David. Another goal for Terrigal Avoca and James Webster. Terrigal Avoca, 11 goals, 12-78, leading Nelson Bay 1 goal, 1-7.
And I'll do the ad read, Louis. Actually, we can do this one together. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Trading hours 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Support local businesses.
Subway, eat
fresh.
Thank you, David.
That's the job, mate. That's the deal. You hit the commentary.
Of course, owner Chris Bishop running that business, and at the end of this game we'll also have to do a Subway player of the match, David.
That'll be hard. Thomas would be in the top couple at the moment, the way he's playing. Pressure on Grinia. Great tackle, Grimmond. Upper body strength from Grinia. That's a sling tackle and missed. Bishop. Flint's in there now, staying on his feet importantly. It was interesting to watch Flint there. He refused to go to ground and stayed in the play. And there's the nominated ruckman. I'll be interested to see if the AFL get rid of the nominated ruckman rule after the season, Lucas. It's caused some issues, particularly that Patrick Dangerfield kick last week, which was clearly a free kick, I might add. But Bond. Tough ball in there, Grinia. Laptop's got the tablet's done Anana, as it always does. McKellar. That's actually an ordinary kick, and picked off by Eriksson, I reckon. Yeah. Comes wide. Kicks it as far as he can and low as he can. Defender's nightmare. Handball comes out, and O'Brien's recipient wasn't really aware of that. Player down in the background on the left-hand side. Over here for Nelson Bay. And mark picked off by Jaden Reimer, who seems to be sitting in half-back at the moment. Short ball to Eriksson. Backline general Joel Eriksson. Out this ball comes Thomas. Space up here, again for the third time in the quarter. The ball goes over the line before Matt Shortall can get to it. And just excuse us, we're just having a couple of little technical issues with the live scoring. And Lucas will have it up there nice and shortly for you. Terrigal Avoca up by 70. Mayola gets a lovely throw in. Lamont, too much body strength. Shark beautifully by Chris Eddy. Picked off, however, by Fitzgerald. Little short handball comes out. Harper should get rid of that. It does. So look at the running here. Lachlan White and Grimman will get it. Comes back, gets a handball out. Another handball coming. Is it? No. Short ball. Thomas will go square to a one-on-one contest. Webster, what a recovery from Jimmy. If he kicks this, it'll be the goal of the day. Oh, superb work from the superstar James Webster. Drew Petrie very unselfishly letting that one go through. Terrigal Avoca 12-12-84 after being 4-11. Nelson Bay 1-1-7. Lucas Holmes.
Hunter Val, looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Val on the range of affordable SUVs. Starting from just $22,990 to drive away with a 5-year warranty and 5 years roadside assistance. Hunter Val, give you more. Book your test drive today.
$22,990. Wow, that's cheap. East Maitland and Carter for Hunter Haval. Get along. Mention the Black Diamond Footy League and you love our football. And thank you for their sponsorship. Davis, hands out. Delahunty. Shortle. Oh, that's a mark. Jack Grimman up in the air with a 2-on-1 contest takes a screamer. And I thought Jaden Ryan would take an absolute hang of it earlier on. Mark, not quite. Just intercepted enough. Roma flying through the middle. Silky smooth skills.
And that was Dan Houston just getting bumped off the ball from that mark, David.
Bond goes wide. Jimmy Webster wider. Xander White comes back to the centre. Davis will get that low to the ground. Now they'll try and get a handball. They don't want Jasper kicking necessarily. As he hits someone. One-handed from Houston. Roving Bishop, as he's done thousands of times. Goes out wide. Ball wamboozles Petrie. Wood's done a pretty good job on Petrie so far, to be quite honest with you. And ball picked off by Fleming. Looking for a short ball here. Petrie's on to the right. And that's where he goes and finds him. He's in the thumbs up. And Petrie's got a tightish angle here. This would be 50. Lucas Holmes has got no idea of calculated and protractors. I reckon this is 60-degree angle. Lucas, your thoughts?
I'll agree with you that time, David.
Thank you.
Of course, Petrie shouldn't be. Distance should not turn him off.
Should kick to the left of the goalposts. And again, it's just sliced off to the right with this slight breeze. Terrigal Avoca, 12 goals, 13.85. Nelson Bay, 1-1-7. Elapsed time, 17.5 minutes.
Sorry, David, almost identical to that first shot he had. Drew Petrie, probably just a bit further out in distance, though. And take this kick in. Give you a bit of a break, David.
Yep, I'm good. Thank you, mate. Ericsson. No, actually, that's Bellman in 19, not 9. Bit too short for Ericsson, and that's the kicking style of Bellman. Poor kick, really. Picked off by Petrie. Immediately gets rid of it. Going for Bishop. Off one step. Goes back to Petrie. Left foots it. Gets it up in the air. It's about 30 metres out. Anyone's ball. And picked up by Jaden Reimer. Reimer looking for his options. Reckon he's going to come back across the ground here. Does. Oh, dropped by Ericsson. Not where you want to drop it. Down the line. And a mark taken again by Bellman. Creswell's got to clear out and does. Short ball, not really effective kick. Xander White gets that ball up into the air. 1-on-2 contest. Good mark Crouch, actually. He actually ended up with that one uncontested. That is a shocking kick. He's got that off the inside of the instep. And Mayerlock will take this throw in. Yeah. With 18.5 minutes elapsed time, Terrigal Avoca up by 78. Lucas, 78. Nelson Bay really need to get back in the rooms to have a bit of a chat at halftime and see what they can come up with. Bit hard against this Terrigal Avoca side. I think they'll make another grand final. They've got no doubts of that. The next 2 weeks will really test them, though. Cardiff and Newcastle City both on the road.
That's almost a good thing for Terrigal Avoca. You sort of want that you want to be right up and about towards the start of the finals, David. 2 very challenging games will get them right up. Chris Bishop will be looking forward to that, I would imagine.
Creswell does extremely well. Good contest in there. Ball comes to ground. Petrie staying on his feet. Well done, Wood. Houston. Creswell. I thought it was a throw too. There was a throw call came out. I'm sure that was a throw. behind. Terrigal Avoca 12 goals, 1486. Nelson Bay 117. In speaking to Chris Bishop for Bar TV a couple of weeks ago, he said it's the perfect lead-in for them. They wouldn't ask for more, couldn't any more. So this is actually Terrigal Avoca's last home game of the season. They won't be playing. There's no final scheduled here. So last game at Hilton Mall for the year. They're of course wanting to get that. Everybody, particularly Cardiff and Terrigal Avoca, Louis, will be after that 1 week off in the that you get for finishing minor premier, and then they'll probably get if they do that, they'd get a preliminary final at Adelaide Street. Tap out from Petrie in the ruck this time. Does well. Gets it inside. Off from Thompson. Goes straight down the middle, and there's no one there. Nelson Bay playing loose men, and the Terrigal Avoca's back six are just lethal. Moving. Bond goes left. Gets it out wide. At the back, I thought there was almost a chest mark taken. Just missed by Pete Van Dam. Blythe in there, making a contest. Good contest, actually. That sun's got some warmth in it. It's a lovely day here. 79 points the difference. 20 and 3/4 minutes gone. Elapsed time. Up goes Pete Van Dam. Hits Shortle, who drops it. Now, who's going to pick this ball up? Jaden Reimer going forward. Intercepted. Well done, Bond. Roving. Flint, number 60. Has time to get around on his right foot. Goes long. Into space. Kept in. Oh, good bump. Grinya. 1 bounce. 2 bounces. Houston putting some pressure on. Well shepherded by Eddie. Good football, Chris Eddie. Looked after his mate there. Little short ball comes through the middle. Bishop. This is where he's dangerous. And that's a push out, I reckon, Louis.
And that'll be 50. Yep. Sorry, David.
You understand why coaches get so frustrated. That's a clear 50-metre penalty under the rules. There's just no option for that. He's kicked the ball away well after the whistle was blown. And to add insult to injury, it'll be a free kick leading into the half-time break. Pete Van Dam will kick this goal, and does, and kicks his first one for today. Peter Van Dam a goal right at the death of that quarter. Nelson Bay, 117, Terrigal Avoca 13-14-92. With leading goal kickers, Brandon Thomas has 5 and James Webster 3. We'll come back with you after half-time break with Nelson Bay leading by 85 points. Sorry, Terrigal Avoca leading by 85 points here at Hilton Moore Oval.
G'day, Rabbit and Julie Goodwin here from Star 104.5.
We love the Central Coast and we love our local sport, especially the Hunter Haval Black Diamond AFL.
You're looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval and their range of affordable SUVs.
We want to give a massive thank you to all of the Hunter Haval Black Diamond AFL sponsors.
Belmont 16-footers Sailing Club,
GE Industrial Solutions, ISC,
Prime 7,
Bar TV Sports,
The Entertainment Grounds,
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery.
Marks Men Workforce.
Please support our sponsors that support us.
And we'll catch you on the radio 6 to 9 weekdays on Star 104.5.
Introducing luxury you won't have to sell the house for. The new Haval H6 from $29,990.
Welcome back to Hilton Moore Oval. We promised you that we'd give you a bit of a rundown on the top 7. As Lucas Holmes just finishes putting some sun cream on, and yes, it is that warm. So the top 7 works like this. You've got 7 teams that qualify for the finals in all 3 grades. On the first week of the finals, the minor premier, or the first place finisher, gets the week off. Then the schedule is 2 plays 6. Correction, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, and 4 plays 5. So they're the 3 finals on the first weekend. And this year, those finals will be played on the Saturday at Maitland and Muswellbrook, and then on the Sunday at Wyong Lakes, Lucas Holmes. Lucas is just having a bit of munch to eat at the moment, so I'll just have a minute, Lou. So, again, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5. Their sudden death. In the second week of the finals, the minor premier plays the lowest qualifying semi-final winner, and the other 2 teams play the preliminary finals, and then a grand final the week after. And that's the structure of how it works. So there's 3 weeks of finals. The minor premier has a week off, which is puts a lot of reward on finishing first, Lucas. 2 plays 7, which will be a tough ask for 7. 3 plays 6, a tough ask for 6. And this is the big one, 4 plays 5. So that if the Singleton and Warners Bay and Killarney Vale, although Killarney Vale was struggling earlier, are fighting for that 4th and 5th place. And that means that they would play each other. And I can assure you that Singleton and Killarney Vale would love to get their hands on trying to play Warners Bay instead of having to play City or Cardiff. Quick scores for you. Lucas, does that all make sense? Anything you want to add to the top 7?
No, the only thing I was going to add, which you covered, they're all sudden death, unlike previous years where it was been the top 4 in the previous years, 1v2, 3 play 4, and obviously the 1v2 is preliminary so that they get a second chance. They do.
Every final is a sudden death. So score checks for you, although that score's not right at Maitland. Newcastle City 12-173, comfortably over Killarney Vale 4-125. Terrigal Avoca here up by 85. Singleton and Gosford is very close. That's a big game too, particularly for Gosford. Singleton 5-5-35, Gosford 4-8-32. Warners Bay Police 13-9-87 and Lake Macquarie 1-1-7. Now, my reading of the ladder is that if Gosford win today, I think they've secured themselves a finals place. Can we have that ladder, please, Louis? So I can just look through that. So let's just have a look at wins. Yes, that would leave Gosford 7-7, and Wyong Lakes have only got 2 games left. So if Gosford can manage to get home at Rose Point, they're in, and we're just a matter of who finishes where. If results go as they appear to be today, there's a chance that Gosford could be level with Killarney Vale on points, but their percentage is vastly inferior. And guess who Gosford play next week, Lucas Holmes?
I do not know, David, to be honest with you.
Gosford host Killarney Vale next week.
That's going to be a huge game, isn't it, David?
Adcock Park. They finish home, Gossie. They finish Killarney Vale, then Wyong Lakes. If they don't beat Singleton, and they don't beat Killarney Vale, the last game of the season is Gosford and Wyong Lakes, with Wyong Lakes a slight smidgen of a chance of getting in. So all sorts of permutations there. But as I said, if Gosford win today, our final 7, but not the order, is set in concrete. Lou, can you just go on while we've got time? Can you bring up the women's scores, and I'll run through them. Oh, we might run through them together. Go one-on-one. So we'll go each score one after the other. If you can just bring up the whole match centre for me. Okay, so here we go. Terrigal Avoca 18-16, 124. Port Stephens a point.
Killarney Vale 6 goals 8-44. Newcastle City Novas 3 straight 18.
That's a big win. Warners Bay 28-27, 195. Important percentage. The entrance Battle Bay 1 straight 6.
Wyong Lakes 31 goals 14-200 to West Walls and Newcastle, no score.
And then the big one, Newcastle City Stars have really put a cat amongst the pigeons for the finals. Newcastle City Stars 5-11-41, defeating the previously undefeated Nelson Bay 2-4-16.
Maitland 11 goals 10-76, defeated Cardiff 3 goals 6-24.
Singleton and Nadine and Kaya and Tyler will be happy with this one, Louis. Singleton 6-7-43, Gosford 1-2-8.
And in the final game of the round at Tulkawah Park, David, Lake Macquarie 8 goals 9-57, defeated Muswellbrook 3 goals 9-27.
Just see if the ladder's gone current there yet. I could have. We'll just bring that up if we can. Here it comes. If Nelson Bay have had a loss here. So here is the ladder in order, and that's up to date. So Nelson Bay on top with a percentage of so they're on top. So they're on top by percentage from Newcastle City. So City Stars. So Nelson Bay first, the Stars second by percentage only. Wyong Lakes now into third, tied with Killarney Vale, but with a vastly superior percentage. So it is Nelson Bay, the Stars, Wyong Lakes, Killarney Vale, the Newcastle City Novas, Maitland and Singleton on percentage from Warners Bay, who had a massive win today. So if there were to be finals today or after today in the women's draw, it would run like this. Nelson Bay would have the week off. The Stars would have Singleton. Wyong Lakes would play at home, Lucas Holmes, against Maitland, although both of those teams have got finals. And Killarney Vale would play the Novas. Now, Warners Bay are now, if I may, Warners Bay are only 6% behind Singleton, and they play Maitland and Cardiff in their last 2 rounds.
Maitland, and don't they play the Stars again, David, from memory?
They've got the Stars again.
They've got the Stars,
If that's not there, well, that's tough. So, so that massive win by Warners Bay today, in which they put 190 on their the entrance, it gets their percentage up to a level now where they're really challenging for that final 7. So, the Nelson Bay, Newcastle City, Wyong Lakes, Killarney Vale, the Novas, Maitland and Singleton. Can we go to the plate then, please, Lucas? Just straight to a ladder. First of all, as the umpires are coming out. So if I can have the ladder up for the plate, I think we've got 2 undefeated sides who play in the last round. So we have. So in the plate, extraordinarily, the only 2 undefeated teams in the entire league are both the first and second place players teams in the plate. Terrigal, after a big win today, Terrigal Avoca up by equal with points with City and up by 50%. Third is Cardiff, and they're comfortably ensconced there. Muswellbrook, a big percentage boost today, 42. The Entrance Batter Bay, with whom they drew earlier in the year, 34. Killarney Vale, 32. And Warners Bay now into the... And they must have a game short. That was against Newcastle City.
Yes, correct.
Warners Bay are actually a game in front of Warners Bay in 7th, of Wyong Lakes in 7th place, Lucas.
And I shall just have a look at the quick results, because some of those games are still going on as both teams are just...
Actually, that's why. So that ladder's still current.
Yeah.
So if we can, if I can have that, Newcastle City up over Killarney Vale, that's final. Cardiff defeated Maitland. Singleton defeated Gosford. Muswellbrook defeated Lake Macquarie. Terrigal Avoca defeated Nelson Bay here. The Entrance Batter Bay are up over Warners Bay 68-19, so that's got effect. Wyong Lakes won't be playing today. Oh, yes, they are. And in fact, that's massive.
That's huge.
Walls End West Newcastle are beating Wyong Lakes comfortably by 26.
Yep.
26, with players coming back out in the field. So that's got all sorts of permutations. But yes, extraordinarily, the only 2 teams in the entire league that are undefeated play each other in the last round of the season, Lucas Holmes, at Newcastle number 1. That will be a massive day in all grades, I would suggest to you. Looking at goal kickers for the Dogs, are you there, Louis?
I am.
Hardman, how many? 3 there.
McGrath with a few.
McKenna, 1 up the top there. And Clark, a goal for the Dockers. So Warners Bay taking care of business. Almost ready to go on quarter number 3. Here at Hilton Moore Oval, Nelson Bay actually not out in the field yet, so we've got a couple of minutes before we get going.
I'm just having a look through some of these scores in the Black Diamond Cup, David. Newcastle City kicking 12 goals to the solitary point as well, so some very accurate shooting there at Adelaide Street Oval.
There's an update there for us from Max McMahon Oval. Cardiff up by 84 over Maitland. Singleton and Gossip, we told you, is up by 3 points, and Warners Bay comfortably leading Lake Macquarie. And, of course, here, Terrigal Avoca up by 85 points. Nelson Bay back out in the park now, just jogging around, getting himself warm, and we'll be going very shortly. Sun playing some sort of havoc with our TV, but I'm sure we'll manage. And players just about to get out of position. Goal umpires on their way. In Darryl Luck's 300th Black Diamond Cup game. He's got the whole family here, Louis, wife and 5 children. Extraordinary performance from the 48-year-old. Dane Amity has played something along the lines of 271 or 272 games of Black Diamond Cup. Of course, he's played 300 first-grade games. He did that earlier in the season. And he'd be into the 370s now in his games played for Killarney Vale. Well done, Drano, who I believe may be going around again next year, Louis. I don't think he's got plans on retirement.
I mean, when you're still playing a first-grade competition, David, around and still having still being in very good form, you'd expect him to go around once again, that being Dane Amity. Very class footballer. Me being a younger person wouldn't have seen him in his prime. But you can only imagine what he would have been like, David.
Absolutely, Lucas. Legend of that football club.
And, of course, a part of the Black Diamond Australian Football League Hall of Fame as well, David.
Yes, indeed. Davis in the ruck, getting himself ready. He's had almost his own way in the ruck contest. Sam Ellis has actually been out for a while. I'll have to do a bit of research and find out if Sam's injured or if he's just unavailable at the moment. Umpire's got the football. The siren's about to sound. And we're away. Quarter number 3. Davis off with that 2-footed jump. Hits Bishop beautifully. Oh, look at that. That's a training drill. All he's got to do is hit him on the chest. Grimmond gets it out. Picked off, however. Coming down to the line. Grinya. No, ball stays in. Webster needs to get rid of Big Calm here. Swooped on by Reimer. Bishop gets a quick handball out because he was under duress. Grimmond immediately gets it out so it doesn't get tackled over the shoulder. Should have been played against Grimmond. Umpire obscured by the sun, and it's a ball up. Half forward flank for the Panthers, leading by 85 on a glorious, magnificent afternoon here in East Gosford. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else than end of July. They all thought Davis might have been pushed out there, not paid. Football goes straight at Flint, and he goes over the line and gets it out of bounds in front of Nick Kither in 44. Ball almost on direct centre wing. Jesper Davis is here. Now, let's see how Terrigal Avoca set up. There's no close marking except on Webster. Davis goes over the top, and that's almost a throw. And Bishop is hit and gets the ball out of bounds. Interesting structure there. Bishop left completely alone. Webster had body work put on him, Lucas. But wasn't that a fascinating free kick that Patrick Dangerfield got for himself to basically win that game last week? It just goes to show what people are doing in football.
It was an incredible game, David. And Melbourne almost in the same position that they were last year, missing the finals on percentage. Once again, tapped inside there by Davis.
Down the line, and of course there's a Terrigal backman free, this time Flint. You can hear that high-pitched voice of Pete Van Dam. That's a helicopter. Doesn't suit anybody. McKellar's up there on the forward line. He will get sacked from the backman's union. Great tackle, though. Not rewarded with a free. Ball comes out. Bellman drops it, I thought. McKellar, handball out. Grimmond, another handball out. Jimmy Webster's out there. That's a pretty handy bloke to get the football to. Ball, however, comes off smothered, I believe. A bit hard to tell from here. Grimmond to tackle. Got to get rid of it. Trouble. Out comes. That was Fitzgerald. Shortall gets it up in the air, clears the area. And Brandon Thomas takes what is really an easy mark. His positional awareness today has just been superb, Lucas Holmes, hasn't it?
And did look quite simple, David, but because it was snapped high over his shoulder by Shortall, had to protect the drop of the ball and did that expertly and took the mark on his chest.
Thomas for a straight 6 goals. I think he's missed. No, he hasn't. You can hear that voice of Pete Van Dam. I reckon you hear it in Gosford. Brandon Thomas, 6 goals and clearly on his way to double figures. And once Lucas puts the score up, I think it's 102. No, it's 98. 14-14, 98, Terrigal Avoca. Towson Bay, 117. Lucas.
Belmont 16-footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16 is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook, the home of the Black Diamond AFL.
And the home of the Elliot Davey Medal Night, Wednesday the 22nd of August at the Belmont 16-footers. And our league operations manager, Gary Birkinshaw, does a wonderful job of getting that night to be a superb night, doesn't he, Louis?
Sure does, David. As mark taken by Grimmond from a short, scrappy kick from the centre. Goes wide, does Grimmond to Bishop. Just the man you want. Not a massive kick, though, is Bishop. Goes short and lowers his eyes. Goes deep into the pocket. Welcome Petrie gets his hands off. Runs into an open goal there. Was that Creswell, David?
Yes.
It was. Goal for Creswell and goal for Terrigal Avoca. Terrigal Avoca, 14 goals, 15 goals, 14, 104, leading Nelson Bay 117.
GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in their Hunter for the past 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Also proud sponsor of the booming BDAFL women's competition. Good call, Lucas Holmes. So they've got themselves from 4 goals 11 to 15 goals 14. That's remarkable. And back on par with their shooting. Up by 97, and it'll be 150 at least, I'd suggest, by the end of this game, the way it's going, Lucas. Don't think that's an unfair statement. Davis off one foot this time. Reimer, smooth. Gets a long ball. Crouch has actually got the sit here, no. Bond does very well, too much speed. Bond, looking for Van Dam if he can find him. Pete, what a superb delivery. You can hear Pete's voice wanting that football. Bishop square, he ignores him. Goes straight down the line. Petrie, one out, should take this. No, you thought he was dragged out of that. Could have been a chop of the arms. Not paid. There's a free kick eventually to Petrie. So eventually picks up the free kick. He'll be too far out to score, the big fella. Ball comes back to him in the correct manner. Off one step, looks for a man, and finds him. And that is it Thomas? I'm sorry, I'm a touch obscured by the sun.
Yeah, it is.
Thomas sitting here, and he's on looking for 7 now. Again, with this breeze, he cannot kick this to the middle or the right. It's got to go at that left goalpost and let it work back in with this the breeze actually quite slight at the moment. He's still got to kick it just at that left goalpost. Justin's cameras, let them do the talking. And again, he's pushed that out to the right. Continue on. Good mark, Jasper Davis. Oh, he's gone the wrong way. Played on and gone the wrong way. That will be absolutely spoken about for years, what he's just done. Over the shoulder, I thought, against Barton, not paid. Jasper Davis takes a mark in his own attacking goal square and kicks it back to centre-half forward, Lucas Holmes.
It's happened a few times, David. You think it might happen. I think it might be easier than it is.
Davis gets this tap out. Van Dam.
Yeah.
No chance of Pryor. Tackled by Thompson and Freund.
And as you said, David, his teammates will be at him for the rest of his career, you would imagine.
Yeah, yes. Davis gets that tap out. Now, who's he going to give this free kick to? Surely he's entitled to put his knee out as part of a ruck contest. Sorry, don't agree with that decision. I didn't see a problem with it. Continue on. Eriksson takes a mark off Reimer's silky left. And not many options. Goes down this line. And that'll be picked off by Flint. And off comes Bishop, roving. And the voice from Van Dam was immediate. Doesn't go to him. Finds Thomas. Now he'll look for Petrie. He's got to kick this back door for Petrie. He's gone the backside. Can the big fella take a mark? Does. Good, very good mark. With 2 men on him. And Drew Petrie from mine, Lucas Holmes, is a really good example of what a footballer should be. Big, strong, clean player. Real good club man there at North Melbourne. Finished his career off with Adam Simpson at West Coast, but just the epitome of a modern footballer for mine.
Probably went under the radar too, considering North in that time weren't the greatest powers in the AFL, David.
Goal to Drew Petrie. Just waiting on the goal umpire, Louis. Yeah, clapping says it's a goal for Petrie. He's kicked 2. And the score's Terrigal like a 16, 14, 110. Nelson Bay 117 LJ.
ISC has been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel for elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the official apparel partner of the Black Diamond AFL.
And of course, when Drew Petrie started his career, the great Corey McKernan was one of the lead power forwards at North Melbourne. And he sort of learnt from watching him, and he came from a club where the great Wayne Carey had been there. Well, the truly great Wayne Carey. But Petrie, I think, I agree with you, flew under the radar, was a very good footballer for many, many years. And by all accounts, a decent human being. Ball comes out. Bishop, Flint, back to Bishop on his left. Still killing it into his late 30s. Petrie, good contest there, actually, against him. Now, where's he going to go, the big fella? Goes low. And lovely body work on David Wood by Pete Van Dam. Lucas, I'm just speaking with Lucas. I'm putting my hands in the front of his chest, and he just pushed off there, Lucas, in front, didn't he? Rather than transgressing behind the arms.
Yeah, many people say it's a dying out the key forward, David, in the modern game. It's great to see big contested marks like one that Pete Van Dam just took.
Hasn't had his kicking boots on so much today, but that's a lovely strike from Van Dam. Peter Van Dam, that is. And that is Pete's second. Terrigal Avoca 17-14, 116. Nelson Bay 117 after 8.5. Lucas.
Prime 7. In 2018, Prime 7 has every big game, live and free. Coverage includes 4 games every round on 7, mate, including Friday and Saturday night and Sunday afternoons. Black Diamond AFL on Prime 7, your local AFL team.
And, of course, the Giants are playing St Kilda this afternoon at Spotless, and that'll be on Prime TV from 4:30 after our coverage is finished. And as Lucas said, he'll be going down to watch Sydney and Collingwood at the City Cricket Ground next Saturday night. Be a big game there, Louis.
Will be.
That was the game that used to be played at Stadium Australia when you were younger.
Correct,
it was always
yes.
played at Stadium Australia. Reimer gets a little dribble kick out. It ends up being effective. Doesn't go over the shoulder. Very cleverly done by Harper. Speaking of over the shoulder and hitting people in the head, I think there might be a Swans player in a bit of strife after last night. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Yeah, no, I saw that early, David.
Yeah, I think that might go straight to tribunal somehow.
Ended up with 2 reports. 2 did Zach Jones.
Yes, he did, and he might go for both of them.
I actually didn't see the last one, but
good tackle, Harper. Didn't go with a sling motion, I didn't think. Got him to ground, but there was one continuous motion, so happy with that. And that sun's gone down, as it always does here at East Gosford. It makes it easier to see, I'll tell you. Harper pushes him out. Picked off by Morrissey. Goes down the line. Should be a chest mark to Delahunty. Delahunty goes short and finds Creswell.
O'Brien, sorry,
so
David.
I think it was.
Hands off to Delahunty. Delahunty goes straight down the middle looking for Pete Van Dam. Pete Van Dam corralled. Greeny gets a handball out going forward now at the bay. Long and high, entry inside forward 50. Is there a mark? It goes over the back, David. 2-on-2.
Now, he's entitled to put that through, isn't he? Under that situation, he'd have been allowed to punch it through because of pressure, Lucas. Just some messages coming in from our great friend James Newburn. Kalanival, all sorts of issues there. Brendan Lewis lost in the warm-up. Mark Adams gone at quarter time. And then Josh Mifsud gone at the start of the third quarter. That is not a good sign for the Kalanival Football Club. We thank Jimmy for that information, and we wish all of those players a quicker and speedy recovery. Good mate of ours, Jimmy Newburn. Down towards O'Brien. Over the shoulder, I thought. Not paid. Houston, a little short left footer. Good punch out from Wood, who's a solid backman. A small size, but a solid player, David Wood, and has been for quite a few years. This looks like Harper and Barton taking this ruck contest, and is. Barton should be favourite. Gets a right-hander out. Misses Xander White. Xander comes back. Matthew Shortall goes short with a handball, and Webster gets that to Grimman, Ryman knows enough about Grimman that he can't let him get past him. Ryman's quick, but Grimman's lightning over in front of the Terrigal Avoca bench.
We saw one of those games early in this season, David. It might even have been against Cardiff in that early grand final rematch where the wind was howling here and Grimman took it all upon himself to run that far wing because the breeze was howling that day.
Yes, well, that was what was that? Now, against Barton, is it? Yeah. As someone who's tall himself and is that descent against Barton? It is. Sorry, I'm sure the umpire's running backwards. He said to Barton this one, which I'm making my fingers like the descent single, and that's what's happened. So, very unusually for mine, Billy Barton gives away a 50-metre. Now, I'm not sure who's got the kick. It is Dan Houston, I think, or is that Harper? If he's right-footed, it's Harper. It is. Sure, that's Harper. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
So Barton marched 50 for giving the umpire some lip. And Darryl Luck says, no, my son, you will not give me that in my 300th. Come down here and we'll walk away 50 metres. So Harper gets it up, pulls it left, and that's a behind. Terrigal Avoca 17 goals 15, 117. Nelson Bay 128. As it gets a little bit cooler here, Lucas might have his jacket on shortly. With the sun gone, it's still a beautiful afternoon. One of the advantages of living in the Central Coast in Newcastle is that the weather in our winters is not like the rest of the state. That's out of bounds and called. Beautifully done by the umpire. Lachlan White puts pressure on there.
Morrissey just unable to keep that ball in this outer side, David, just to the Terrigal Avoca attacking side of centre wing.
I'm sure that the White's mum is here with Diesel the Wonder Dog, their 14-year-old pooch. He's a legend, old Diesel. Davis with off 2 feet. Barton gets him from behind. Morrissey gets that football out. Little push out. Well done by Delahunty. Touched by the man in front, not called. That will be a mark, however, to Creswell on his non-dominant. Now gets onto his left. Short little kick and finds Bishop. Bellman's got to come back on that mark quickly too. He ran over. Up. No, not mark taken by Poochie that time. They've actually, as I said, done a reasonable job. Thomas shanks it. He was on for 7. Terrigal Avoca 17-16 at 118. Nelson Bay 128. Lucas Holmes.
Had numbers out the back there. Did Terrigal Avoca? I think it was 2-on-1. Thomas had all the rights within to go for goal there, not too far out when you'd expect him to slot that, but he's had a few shaky moments in front of goal this afternoon with Thomas, but kicking 7 goals is still a wonderful achievement. They've gone the huddle, Nelson Bay from the kick out.
Oh, well done, Barton. One-hand pick up. and beats a man. Bishop does put an effective tackle on. Great tackle, Lamb, on... That shouldn't be a free kick on Kither. Yep, no chance for Kither there. Your goal-kicking tally for Thomas, you have him as 7?
6 or 7, David?
I have him as 6. We'll just check that, please.
I think I might have 6, yeah. 1...
Tell me if I'm wrong, please. Lachlan gets that ball out. Fleming in front.
Yeah, 6, David.
Thank you. Good tackle. He's in trouble.
And paid.
Correct decision on Lachlan. Want to be very happy that he's really running into some form here at the right time after a debilitating injury. Short ball comes up. Lovely pair of hands, Harper, who I think's a little bit inconvenienced by that left knee. He's got more tape on it than King Tutankhamun, but still producing for his side. And Chris Bishop will be wanting his side not to take the foot off and to continue with their structures and setup. We might need to get you a new folder, Lucas J.
Possibly.
Because your ad read is flying everywhere. Might need to borrow some of Kendall's tape, I think.
Just need the bottom for Stowen at 4.5, David, as Harper goes in.
Gets it up in the air. And a good hit. Well done, Harper. So Brendan Harper's first goal. Terrigal Avoca cruising along here. Terrigal Avoca 18-16, 1-2-4. Nelson Bay 1-2-8. And we've gone 15 and 16 minutes in the third quarter.
Star 104.5 FM. Star 104.5 plays it music we all love and has proudly supported the Black Diamond AFL since 2005.
That they have, 104.5. And you could pick them up in northern Sydney. You can pick them up. I'm often in Newcastle with cricket and footy. You can pick them up in Newcastle. And the amount of driving that I do, they get me home so many times. Good music mix. Davis and Barton in the ruck contest. Davis has almost had his own way today. Barton will give him a contest, though. Wins that one left-handed, Billy. Right on cue. Good long kick down the middle. Push out, I thought. That might be a goal. If it's a goal, he's done extremely well. That is enormously skillful from Kieran Lamond, although I do think there was a push-out. Goal from Lamond out of nothing. Lovely kick around the corner, too. Terrigal Avoca, 18-16, 1-2-4. Nelson Bay, 2-2-14. Lucas Holmes.
Bar TV Sports. Bar TV Sports specialise in the live streaming and broadcasting of local sport, including the Black Diamond AFL. Bar TV Sports, making your game the main game.
10 points the difference to Richmond over Collingwood and 11 points the difference Geelong over Brisbane on my footy app. And here it's 110 points Terrigal Avoca. Davis, up left-handed, gets it back door. That's a training drill. Off to Jimmy Webster, gets it long. To Petrie in front, creating a crash ball. Who's at ground level? Reimer's there. Body on. Creswell goes to ground courageously. Little handball to Shortall off his best mate Petrie. Up, Fleming, I reckon. Yeah, lovely hands, Fleming. Bellman's out in fraction in that zone. And lovely mark, just too big. Young did everything he could there, but Houston too big, too strong. And we'll take this kick just outside the square to put through Terrigal Avoca's 19th goal in just short of 3/4 of football. Hunter Haval Black Diamond Cup here at Hilton Moore Oval in East Gosford. Here with Kendall and Justin from Bar TV and my co-commentator and partner Lucas J. Holmes. Houston, who's a left footer, should put this one through without any problems. And, of course, he's got the commentators Moz and misses badly. Terrigal Avoca, 18-17, 1-2-5. Nelson Bay, 2-2-14. Kick coming out. Not too long left in this third quarter. 18.5 minutes elapsed time. Gets the ball outside to the square. And a lovely mark, Lachlan White. He's just gaining confidence. Grimmond. Oh, picked off. Well done that by Adam Grinier. Swings onto his left. Kicks it out. Wide, Davis with one hand gets a contest against Barton. Sam O'Brien, a little less hair than normal for Sam. And a lovely mark by Houston again. Too big, too strong up there. That's the matchup issues they've got, but they've always had a small backline, haven't they, Lucas?
They have,
Since
David.
we've been watching them.
Yeah, no, they have Chris Eddy, obviously outstanding. Their mid-sized player, very accomplished, skillful player. Chris Eddy, as there is a mark taken deep in the pocket here.
It's actually a free kick.
Sorry,
he dragged him down. Petrie dropped the mark, but David Wood in the process of doing that dropped him down. Petrie unselfishly goes and finds Fleming, who takes a mark in a bit of a dusty, hard area there, right in front of goals. And again, this Terrigal Avoca system of being very unselfish wide at goals is impressive to watch. I'm sure a lot of other sides you sit back and watch videos in the Black Diamond Football League do look at the way that other teams set up structurally. Terrigal Avoca's Kurt Fleming. What a late in he is in the second half of the season.
Not a bad in to have, is he, David?
Gracious me. Another one of Bishop's massive midfield rotation. Fleming
goes forward and kicks goals.
Indeed. Fleming's second of the afternoon. You can just hear the crowd. It's quite a decent crowd here today. It's the biggest crowd I think I've seen at Terrigal Avoca in our times calling here. Terrigal Avoca 1917 131. Nelson Bay 2214. LJ.
The entertainment grounds on the Central Coast. The entertainment grounds have quickly established themselves as their premier events location on the Central Coast. The entertainment grounds is an indoor and outdoor multi-purpose community facility for functions, events, festivals, weddings, exhibitions, as well as horse racing.
Thank you, Lucas. Terrigal Avoca up by 117 here. We will come back early from the we'll have a very short three-quarter time break and give you some scores around the league. Of most interest is Singleton and Gosford's score. Wyong Lakes will be sweating on it. Jack Grimman slices that. Erickson has been serviceable to at centre-half back. Goes. No one on him. Short ball. Half volleyed by Thompson. Puts a tackle on low to the ground. Creswell. Little short left-footed kick. O'Brien comes and Maradonas it. Oh, magnificent handball, Petrie. Can Bishop finish from 50? Oh, hits the post. Just hits the padding right at the death. Terrigal Avoca 1918 132. Nelson Bay 2214. David Wood comes immediately out the far side. Good punch from O'Brien on Grinya. Out comes Houston. Big body. Got to be careful of going over the shoulder, and that's exactly what happened. Bit crude from Eddie. And luckily for him, that Houston seems to be okay. In these modern times, you've pretty much got to go down and reach for the football and stand up, and you can't push, you just can't do that, can you, Lucas, these days?
No, they're very protective of the head, the modern day interpretations, and so they should be.
Chris Bishop's up to 30 posies now. That's not one of his best of the day. Wamboozles Webster. This will come back to Bishop. This one will be better. Gets it up in the air this time and picked off well. There you go. Well done, Thompson, who's got a driving right boot. He really is a superb kick of the football. Lamond, who's not a bad player for a big, big man. Good skills. I reckon he's played some good footy in his time as well, just quietly. Out comes Jason Van Dam, who I think's in wonderful form. From what I'm told, he's every bit of that. That's downfield. That should have been a downfield free kick. Jason Van Dam got himself in the air. Grimman looking for hands here. Finds it. Lamb off to Davis, showing why they don't want him kicking much. Davis comes back, gets a boot to this one. He's a chance now if they can get away. Creswell onto his natural left. Petrie's up one-on-one. Well done, Wood. He's done such a good job on him today. Petrie squares it beautifully. The ball was a bit of a worm burner, but not a worm burner, a helicopter, but ends up in the chest of Houston. Very unselfish from Petrie. I think David Wood's done very well with him in the air, to be quite honest, on a much bigger man.
No, he has very well, and he's only had sort of two or three uncontested marks as Drew Petrie. Woods had to make him work for every bit of his worth.
Houston this time slots that.
Yes.
Second goal for Houston. Terrigal Avoca 2018-138. Nelson Bay 2214. Lucas.
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy, the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. They're also proud supporters of the Black Diamond AFL.
That they are. 124 points the difference here at Hilton Moore Oval. And Lucas has got a smile on his face. Tell us.
Josh Thomas has kicked 4, David. Collingwood up by 4 points.
Goodness me. He's going to be a hard man to stop if Collingwood get up tonight. And we're going to have a very short, 1 minute, three-quarter time break, and then come back with a full score check for you of the Black Diamond Cup fixtures being played now, with particular emphasis on Singleton and Gosford at Rose Point Park. Our mate Nadine will be praying that Singleton get up. Davis taps out. No one really picks it up until Fleming gets an opportunity. Webster. Davis off to Grimman, who steps inside. Great tackle, Bellman. And a great tackle by Webster on Thompson. Two very good tackles within 5 seconds of one another there.
James Webster's been relatively well kept this afternoon, David, but he hasn't had to have been a breakout game.
You're right. He's been serviceable, but he's had a lot of mates doing a very good job. Misses that one, Thomas, for the first time today. Houston puts a tackle on. Thomas, second chance. Right-hand handball. Fleming's a quality play. He will finish. And I think the goal umpire's going back central. Just waiting, Louis.
Yeah.
Goal, Kurt Fleming. That's his third of the afternoon. Terrigal Avoca, 21 goals, 18, 144. Nelson Bay, 2-2-14. Lucas Holmes.
Marksmen Workforce. Marksmen Workforce have been great supporters of the Black Diamond AFL since 2016 on the three-quarter time siren, David.
Terrigal Avoca up by 130 at three-quarter time. We'll have a short break and come back. Lucas Holmes will bring up a street and we'll go run through with you the scores of the Black Diamond Cup. Back with you in about 60 seconds.
Smothered in the goal square.
As promised, back with you with a score check through the Black Diamond Cup. We'll go bottom to top this time. Warners Bay leading by 98 over Lake Macquarie. 17-10, 112 to Lake Macquarie, 2-2-14 at Talcabar. Importantly for Wyong Lakes, Singleton 10-8-68, now leading Gosford 5-10-40. Lucas and I were speaking off air a moment ago. Gosford's shooting may cost them big time there. At Max McMahon Oval in Rutherford, Cardiff 20 goals, 14. Maitland 1-2-8. Here, Terrigal Avoca up 21-18, 144 to Nelson Bay, 2-2-14. And in updates from Adelaide Shoot Oval, a very costly day for Killarney Vale. They're getting soundly defeated by Newcastle City, who've kicked 18 goals, 4, which is remarkable. But Brendan Lewis went down in the pre-match warm-up. Josh Mifsud gone at the start of the third, and now at three-quarter time, another update from Adelaide Street. Tim Oosterhoff also gone. That is not good for Killarney Vale, and they're going to struggle through today. And from what I that's going to make pretty confident that will leave it that Singleton and Warners Bay may play in that fourth and fifth final. I think it's very close to that being confirmed. Lucas, you finish what video?
No, it's all good. I'm ready to go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So again, just a run through for you. Newcastle City comfortably over Killarney Vale. Terrigal Avoca here. You're watching us live. Cardiff the same at Maitland. Singleton have skipped away to a 28-point lead at Rose Point Park. I'm sure that Scott and Brasington, who I think are two of the top 5 players in the league playing for Singleton, have had something to do with that. And Warners Bay 17-10 over Lake Macquarie 2-2. So looking like winners will be Warners Bay, Cardiff, Terrigal Avoca, Newcastle City, and Singleton likely there. And that's interesting. The top 5 clubs in the league are actually going to win today. So.
No, it's been good to see in the past some of the clubs that have come up from the plate last year have given it to some of the more established cup sides that we've had in this competition now for a number of years. So it's good to see them putting up a fight.
Most certainly is. I think it's great that Singleton have obviously qualified for the finals. And now next week's game, Gosford and Killarney Vale, is massive. Who do Wyong Lakes have? I wonder who they've got. I know they finished at Gosford. Could you press 17 for me, Lucas? One of the problems with these tablets is my fingers are touched too large. So next week's games, ladies and gentlemen, Gosford hosts Killarney Vale, Cardiff hosts Terrigal Avoca, Bar TV game, massive. Maitland hosts Warners Bay at Max McMahon Oval. Keep going for me, mate, please. Singleton have Nelson Bay, and Wyong Lakes have got Lake Macquarie. Wouldn't that be a fantastic finish if Wyong Lakes win that one comfortably and Killarney Vale somehow manage to get over Gosford? That makes that last game, Gosford and Wyong Lakes, massive Lucas Holmes.
And what will be interesting if those updates have been given at Adelaide Street Oval is how long, in terms of length, those injuries are for Kalani Vale, because some of them don't sound that good at the moment.
Oh, Usthoff and Mifsud and Lewis, give me a break.
As in sort of, not as in the player quad is huge, but the injuries have sustained.
Correct, and of course Mifsud had terrible problems with injury. Usthoff's been the form ruckman in the league.
Yeah.
This bloke, Davies, is a very good tack ruckman. He's not quite as good and developed as Usthoff around the ground, but goodness me, he's a good player. He's a young bloke.
And as we've both said, quite often Billy Barton would be definitely up there in the top 2 or 3 for Nelson Bay's best and fairest come the end of the year, David.
With Ericsson, I would have thought, and Grinya. Okay. Terrigal Avoca up by 130. Brandon Thomas has kicked 6. Drew Petrie's kicked 2. Goals evenly shared, really.
Webster 3.
Fleming 3. Darryl Luck gets the football for the last quarter in his 300th game. There's a couple of kids on the ground, so people are being chased off. And we'll just have a slight delay before we get going here. So next week, Holmes and Redden will be with you at Hillsborough Oval for the second last time at Hillsborough for Cardiff, with Cardiff 1v2, just waiting for that young fellow to come off the ground. He's been left on his pat, and on comes someone to grab him, and we'll be ready to go. Darryl Luck's got young children. He wouldn't let the play start without Junior being off the field. Off he comes. Country footy, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to love it. We're just about ready to go there. In fact, up goes the ball. Darryl Luck's away. Barton and Davis. Davis off 2 feet. Barton gets him. Grinya just too quick for Delahunty. McKellar in front. Should have taken that in front of Lamont. Comes back for more. McKellar, left-hand handball. Flint off him. Bourne's going to turn inside. Comes back to... They're in a bit of pressure here. Nelson Bay doing well. Thompson. Too much body strength for Xander White, but Xander White's quick. Well done, Xander, to hold up a big man in Thompson. And it'll be a ball up right over there near the Terrigal Avoca faithful. On what's been a lovely day here. It's cool now, but it's still very pleasant. It's actually been ruled a boundary throw-in. I thought that was a ball up, but that's okay. So McKellar, I think, is the ruckman in this contest. He is. Lamont uses his body and taps it out. Bellman at the back, screws it around. One-hand attempt at mark not taken. Crouch trying to get in there. And it's going to be another ball up.
And from that frame as well, it looks like Chris Eddy, I'm not sure if he's just resting forward or not, but he's definitely in that forward half, David.
Maybe on the ball. McKellar, Lamont too strong. Oh, beautifully done, Adam Grinya. What a great bit of ruck work. Give that to Lamont, the big assist. Lamont to Grinya, and Nelson Bay's third goal. Nelson Bay 3-2-20. Terrigal Avoca 21-18, 1-4-4.
Marksman Workforce have been great supporters of the Black Diamond AFL since 2016.
And what a very clever left-hand palm down from... And Grinya knew exactly what was going on. And Lamont, with an inexperienced ruckman like McKellar, knew what he was doing. And straight down to Grinya, who finished with a lovely little left foot snap. And Terrigal Avoca up by 124 points. We're just into the start of the last quarter here at Hilton Moore Oval. Hunter Haval Black Diamond Cup. Lucas Holmes and David Redden with you. Billy Barton gets that tap down. Left foot up. Grimmond and Freund and O'Brien and Grimmond and Webster. Gets onto his left, goes low. Laces out to Shortall, playing at half forward. Shortall will be looking for his mate Petrie, I'd imagine. Puts it up, and guess who he finds? That's the situation where David Wood, who's done very well because of his speed, that when he gets one out like that and he can't get a run at it, he's got almost no chance against a man of Petrie's size and strength. And looking at Petrie, he's obviously been working out since he finished playing football, because don't think he's carrying much weight there, Lucas. He's still in pretty good nick. Would you agree?
He is, and he's only been out of the game for this year as well. Retired at the end of last year, as said, as he kicks his third goal to Drew Petrie. Terrigal Avoca, 22 goals, 1,850, leading Nelson Bay 3 goals to 20 after 3 minutes gone in this last quarter, David.
Thank you, Lucas. And I'll get the ad read here for you, everyone. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. Trading hours 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Support local businesses.
Subway, eat fresh. And that will have to come into conversation later in this quarter, David. A Subway Morissette player of the match.
It's going to be hard.
It is going to be quite hard. Just even spread of goal kickers and performers for Terrigal Avoca is so often the case.
It's a bit hard to give it to the bloke that's nominating that's paying for the prize.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but a bit hard. Grenier with a Gary Owen comes out, Flint and Hart, Davis like a ruck tap out over his head. Lovely hands up Houston. Grimmond, little short kick. Grenier leading the way here. Trying to point directions out. Can't quite get to it. Grimmond, once he's in open pastures, deadly. Bishop, talk about deadly. This will hit someone. Don't you worry about that. Thomas, who's just marked that about 2 or 3 metres inside the 50. Barton's got to clear away from him. Camera foreshortens the distance, and a lovely short ball to Shortall coming out of the pocket like a true half forward. And Matthew Shortall will go back and take a kick from approximately 35 metres out, straight in front. No angle here, and the breeze is almost gone. It's a beautiful winter's afternoon. I just can't explain to you how nice a day it is, and the wind has gone. It's dead still. Shortall gets under it, and Pete Van Dam narrates that one. Matthew Shortall's first goal. Terrigal Avoca 23 goals, 18, 156. Nelson Bay 3-2, 20. Lucas Holmes.
Hunter Val. Looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Val on the range of affordable SUVs. Starting from just $22,990 drive away with a 5-year warranty and 5 years roadside assistance. Hunter Val, give you more. Book your test drive today.
East Maitland and Cardiff for Hunter Val. And we urge you to get along and give their wonderful fleet a real serious look when you're purchasing a new car or a used car. Hunter Val, East Maitland and Cardiff. Davis gets this one out, jumping off one leg that time as he needs to against Barton. Houston. Oh, good mark. Thomas has just had sticky hands today. If his kicking had been better, Lucas, he could have kicked almost 10. He's going back for his 7th. I hadn't realised he had so much artwork on his legs. There you go, in shot. Spent some time in the tattoo parlour. Thomas. Don't know if he's got that well. Waiting for the goal
Looks
umpire.
like he's got it, David.
Yep. Didn't flush it, but he's done well enough. Brandon Thomas kicks 7 goals. We are 5-6 minutes gone, elapsed time in the last quarter. Terrigal Avoca up by 142. And we've got the Belmont 16-footers there in your ad read, but Elliot Davey medal like Lucas Holmes. Going to be some 3 medals to be decided, and going to be some really interesting names come up there. I'm not going to name all of them, but there's a couple of players out here that will go okay in the best and fairest in the league. I think that, and then in the women's, goodness gracious me, you would think that Newcastle City and Nelson Bay would be featuring there, and possibly 1 or 2 players that are standalones, like Tori Coburn, Amy Pittman, people like that, Louis.
Yeah, and the thing with those big clubs as well, David, people often take votes from each other from those big clubs who have been very successful during the year, so that will be very interesting to see come Elliot Davey presentation night.
Yeah, well, you think people like Dan White and maybe 1 or 2 people from the clubs, lovely Mark Reimer, who aren't in that top 3 or 4, could go and be a standalone and get lots of votes. So
yeah,
Dan White had a great start to the season.
Brasington.
That's a push to someone. I think it's Eddie. It is. Gets the push out. Barton at the back will take this one. Lachlan White's on the mark, and in comes Lamb. Gillingham will get a few votes this year because he's got so many goals.
Price. Lachlan Price.
Yeah, good point. Jack Lennon.
Yeah.
Is that a great year? Look at lots of goals for Jack. Connor Haswell. Barton's got a good bit of that. Just finishes short. In fact, goes out of bounds, I reckon, off the punch. So, 162 to 20, Terrigal Avoca. It's 8 minutes gone in the last quarter elapsed time. Why you put that phone down? I'm not sure if you were very happy.
Rewalt with the first goal in the last quarter, David. Back to 10 points.
McKellar over the top this time, gets a good leap at it, and away they go. Xander comes down the line. Harper needs to get rid of it inside. Does, but not overly effectively. Houston taps that out, comes back for more. He'll be looking for his Rovers shortly. Gets one in Grimmin. Comes out. Grimmin's away. Electrifyingly fast he is. Shorter wants a short handball to Jimmy. Now Jimmy overbounce, and I reckon Webster will kick this. Take his time. Bang! Quality. James Webster, 4 goals. Beautifully worked by Terrigal Avoca, particularly creating that loose man. Terrigal Avoca, 25-18, 168. Nelson Bay, 3-2-20. Lucas.
Belmont 16-footer sailing club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16 is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook, the home of the Black Diamond AFL.
That it is. And we have 9 1/4 minutes elapsed time here. Ball coming back to central umpire Luck. Looks like Davis is having a rest. I just can't quite tell. Whoever the ruckman is just behind Jimmy. It's actually Pete Van Dam. Wins that one, gets a good body contact. More traditional ruck contest there. Barton swings around on his left, roving well. Good mark above his head to Flint. Good player, Flint. Very underrated, I reckon. Goes square to open the play up. Finds Creswell, who's a lefty, and he'll run down that line on his natural. One-on-one contest. Goes over Shortall. Houston and Reimer. Oh, Reimer gets Wamboozle. Can Houston finish? Off to the left, I believe. Terrigal Avoca, 25 goals, 19, 169. Nelson Bay, 3-2-20. About halfway through this last quarter, David Wood, who has done a very serviceable job on Petrie, and Lucas, I didn't get a chance to mention this earlier, the reason that Wood's gone on to Petrie, one of them is his closing speed.
Yep.
He's actually quite fast.
Still to be touched, and it has been.
Yep, now by Lachlan. Now he's in trouble. Almost run into trouble there, but yes, Lucas is right. If he didn't need to actually touch that, he would have got a free. Elliot Davey Medal Night will be on Bar TV Wednesday the 22nd of August. Barton wins the contest, gets the ruck contest and the kick. Eddie pushed off balance. O'Brien's got a chance. He's got a yard or two. At the last minute, pulls that to Bond, who's gone in for a handball. Creswell, finish, son. Did good football. What a last-minute pass sets that all up. Creswell's third, yes. Good day for Thomas. Terrigal Avoca, 26 goals, 19 after being 4 goals, 11, 175. Nelson Bay, 3-2-20. Lucas, can I have an update, please? Singleton and Gosford. That's the only other game that's remotely close. That's next week's. So we'll come back to you with that. We'll get a score shortly. Ball comes into the centre. Here we go for you, ladies and gentlemen. Gosford and Singleton. Singleton up by 24 points, 12-10 to 8-10. There at Rose Point. So should win that one, you would think, although they've fallen a heap a couple of times this year in the last quarter, Singleton. Tap out. Petrie's chasing. Those runners have got to scoot, or the water guys have got to scoot, and they do. Looks like Ericsson and Lachlan. White, and ball out of bounds just in front of centre wing. So Wyong Lakes still clinging on to hope, and big Saturday next week with the Lakes having Lake Macquarie and Gosford and Killarney Bar. Killarney Bar look like they're going to be struggling with injury, Louis. Tap out from Pete Van Dam goes inside. He knew where his man was. Lachlan White to Xander White to Sam O'Brien. Dodgy left foot kick. Comes out handball. Oh, Lachlan White's just completely dropped that under pressure from Freund. Freund gets his right foot kick out. Gary Owen, though. Ben Lamb underneath this one. Lamond. They're all making a contest. Thompson. Good tackle, Lamb. Umpire says mind no prior. Elapsed time is 13 minutes gone in this last quarter. Terrigal Avoca up by 155. Getting ready and hopeful of no injuries in the last 7 or 8 minutes as they get ready next week for the monster clash with the Hawks. Fleming, right-hand handball. That's a throw. Absolute throw. Not paid. Xander gets that football out, goes wide. Out there is Blythe. Tried hard today. Harper tries to get a handball out to Creswell. Is successful. Creswell gets that up and into the hot spot. Done very well. Good mark, Reimer. Very skillful. Geez, he's got a nice pair of hands. Short ball. Finds some space. Morrissey. No, that's Clark. Going wide to Gordon Young. Backman's kicking style. Gets that up and a mark is taken by Harper. Fleming's on his own in the centre. He goes backwards 35 metres and misses Bishop's. I don't know how he's missed that. Eddie, good tackle, gone. Should be paid, not. Barton coming through, making a contest as he always does. Bond haranguing him. Bond, well done. And what a superb bit of play. Hit the man on the fly and misses. Well done, Bond. Thomas, little scrubby grubber.
That's the post?
I think that's 8. 8 goals, Brandon Thomas, in a sparkling display up forward. Terrigal Avoca, 27 goals, 19, 181. And Nelson Bay, 3, 220. Lucas Holmes.
GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the past 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Also proud sponsor of the BDAFL women's competition.
We thank Paul Kelly and everybody at GE for their wonderful support of our league. 161 points of difference here, and the sun comes back out at Hilton Moore after a 30-minute hiatus. In this contest, Kieran Lamont's got back on, and so's Pete Van Dam. So Davies is getting a spell. Xander's gone into the centre. Lamont gets that one out, trying to hit Grinya. Erickson's in there with him. Good tackle, Fleming. Thompson, handball out. Doesn't really get anybody. Ends up with Lamont after bamboozles Jimmy Webster. That's a free kick. Man in front was Jason Van Dam. Just a bit too experienced there. Got the free kick from being in the right spot. Bishop sitting at the back at quarterback. Goes wide. A beautiful spot to Fleming. McKellar flying downfield now. And McKellar's delivery to Shorter wasn't perfect. In comes Houston. Keeps it in. Handball backwards. Shorter pops it up for it. Let's see who's going on this one. Petrie, too strong. When he gets a chance to use that body strength, Lucas, he's deadly. And Petrie to go back for his 4th. Andy Baldwin's almost right with these tips, actually. Let's not tell him that because he'll get a big head, the stats man. Drew Petrie. For goal number 4 in his guest appearance for the Terrigal Avoca Football Club. And 4 goals, Drew Petrie. Terrigal Avoca, 28 goals, 19, 187. Nelson Bay, 3, 220. Lucas Holmes.
ISC. ISC has been the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel for elite sporting teams for over 20 years, and they're proud to be the official apparel partner of the Black Diamond AFL.
We're wearing their gear at the moment. You got your jacket on now. I see you made the change.
Yeah, I've got the jacket on.
Very good. 167 points the difference to Terrigal Avoca here. 17 minutes gone by the time this ball is thrown in the air. Lamont Davis back into the ruck. Xander White, Sam O'Brien, and Kurt Fleming on the ball as well, along with Alec Clark and Aaron Crouch and Ben Thompson for Nelson Bay. Infraction.
Square, yep.
Is that a free kick to Lamont? Sure it is with the way the arm's going. It is. So centre for square infraction down to the bottom left of screen. Lamont gets a fair bit of that, actually. Goes 55 in the fly. And a one-hander. That's almost play on to Jason Van Dam. Wasn't called. Gets it wide. Fleming flying through the middle. He's going to hit someone this time. He does. Houston. Fleming coming back for more. Quick handball. O'Brien. Chip pass. Thomas sitting on an outside chance at 10 goals. Freund. Good evasive work. Clears the area. And a one-hand mark sumptuously easy from Dan Houston. Now, where Houston, he's run back a fair way. He's not quite Michael Holding his length of run up, but it's gone a fair way. And the modern equivalent would be Ben Brown, wouldn't it? He is the long run-up.
Yep.
Houston, not the correct side for a left footer, but let's see how he walks through. His kicking's been okay today. What's he done? Oh, he loves it. Great goal, Dan. That's a very clever goal. Dan Houston's third. Terrigal Avoca kicked 29, I reckon. 29 goals, 19, 193. Nelson Bay 3, 220. Just a couple of minutes left in the game. Brandon Thomas has 8. James Webster has 4. Drew Petrie 4. Dan Houston 3. Thomas Creswell 3. Kurt Fleming 3. So Chris Bishop, as always, will be pleased with an even spread of goal kickers.
Well, in that instance, David, much like Ben Brown this season, has been very effective. That long run up for Dan Houston there.
Indeed.
Leading the Coleman, is he not?
He's not in the Coleman, and he's a surprise packet to me. I didn't think he was a very good footballer, and he's proven me absolutely wrong. Credit to him. Webster looks for a leading player. Oh, what a delivery from 55 metres to Matthew Shortall. There's just so much quality here, and like Nelson Bay is struggling, that's fair. But goodness me, there's some players here you can play. Shortall, tight angle. Lucas Holmes has got the protractor out, and that's 63.24 degrees. Shaking the head on the left-hand side of me. Shortall. That's a chance. No, it's going to screw it into the left. And Mark not taking that ball's hit the post, I believe. It has. David Wood will get the kick out. Goes short and finds Ericsson. It's 194 to 20. 174 points of difference. Terrigal Avoca. Ericsson. Still trying. Goes wide. Grimmond and Spencer in the contest. Over the shoulder against Spencer. Rouse on the umpire. I want to keep his mouth shut. He might get 50. Grimmond. No one on the mark, really. Grimmond takes advantage of that. Goes to a 1-on-3 contest. Will be picked off there by David Wood. With Shortall outmanned and outsized there. Comes wide towards us. That's a push out. Flat out push in the back. Not picked up on Reimer. And it's a ball up. 194 to 20. With Lucas, a quick update, Singleton and Gosford, please, if you don't mind. Scroll down for me while
Just
we're waiting
refresh
for the ball.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah, the home, David.
94-58. So Wyong Lakes are still alive, ladies and gentlemen. Singleton are going to finish in 5th place in the league, I think you'll find. Reimer, wide. Spearing ball. Now, Grinya's got some space here. Grimmond closes that gap quickly. Goes long. Should be some forwards exposed here one-on-one, but in come Kerrigal's helpers, as always. Bond is in trouble. He's in all sorts of trouble. And the umpire said that the Nelson Bay players dragged that into him, and he's going to give a ball up. Seen that one given a different way this year. Barton and Lamb. Barton should win this one and does. Bond gets the tap out, however. Xander White's got it on a string and a magnificent handball to Creswell, who's really impressive, Creswell. Runs too far, I thought. Goes 45 degrees. At the back there is Harper. There's Houston. Off with his right foot! Very clever Dan Houston. That's his 4th, and I think they've cracked a double century, have they not? They have. Terrigal Avoca 30 goals, 2,200. Nelson Bay 3-2-20. With 22 minutes gone in the last quarter, Louis.
Has been
putting the scores down.
Yep.
Quickly, some of your Subway thoughts, please.
Well, you'd think the first man that comes to mind, David, would be Brendan Thomas kicking 8 goals. He sort of kicked them in clumps. So he kicked a fair few early and then just come in with a few late.
I'll throw a couple at you.
Yep.
Creswell.
Yes.
Houston.
Yep.
Thomas, definitely. Fleming.
Yep.
There's 4,
yep.
so it's going to be tough for us.
Yeah.
That's life.
It is. And for Nelson Bay, just a few of their better players, David. I think Adam Grinya's been very good. Joel Ericsson.
David Woods had done a serviceable job on an AFL player.
He's done very well.
Brandon Thomas sitting on 8 goals. He has got this ball just inside 50, going for 9 in a wonderful display. He's actually going to have the shot. Gets underneath it. Slices it. And it should be out of bounds and should be a ball throw. Yes, goal umpire's got that ball. It's putting it inside. And Mayo Luck will trot around and have this throw in. dying embers of this game here. Terrigal like a comfortable winners here, leading by 180 points and further solidifying their place as first on the ladder. Oh, kicked. That's amazing skill from Harper. Good tackle by Grimmin on Reimer. And everything goes on the line next week. Terrigal, Avoca and Cardiff both only been beaten once. It's massive. Massive game. We'll look forward to being there at Hillsborough.
We know we'll claim the minor premiership, David, you would think.
Yep, that's right.
Now, Terrigal playing City the week after, upset. Were the ones to beat. Cardiff, though, a few weeks ago, so you never know, David.
All three of them could win.
Yeah.
Seriously. All three of them have got real claims. Whoever gets that week off, I think, is the favoured, and they do get the lowest base team.
Qualifier, yeah.
If the finals went as planned, I'll wait for this play. Creswell has been terrific today. Drops it at the last end, comes onto his non-dominant. Harper gets a handball out legitimately. Freund, Reimer, who's also been okay today. Xander taps that ball out of over the line. If the seedings go as you would expect, it would leave. If they went through, it would lean that Cardiff would play Newcastle City in a preliminary final, and that would be played at number 1, leaving Terrigal Avoca to play possibly Warners Bay or Singleton.
Yep.
At Adelaide Street.
Yep.
But that's down the track. Good tackle, Ericsson. That's a holding the ball. Yes, good decision. Umpire right on the ball there. Illegal disposal, James Webster, after an effective tackle by Joel Ericsson. No one to kick to. Bellman's in there in 19. An unrealistic attempt at marking, I thought, but not paid against Fitzgerald. And that's full time. Terrigal Avoca, 30 goals, 20, 200. Nelson Bay, 3, 220. Goals for Terrigal Avoca. I've got Shortall on 1, James Webster 4, Kurt Fleming 3, Brandon Thomas 8 in a sparkling display. Pete Van Dam 2, Brendan Harper 1, Dan Houston 4, Drew Petrie 4, and it's a nice tidy day for Drew Petrie, and Thomas Creswell 3, and then goal kickers for Nelson Bay are Kieran Lamond, Adam Grenier, and in fact I think Kieran Lamond might have 2. Do you have him as 2?
They've only kicked 3 goals, David.
Yes, I think Lamond and Grenier are the 2 goal kickers.
No, Reimer.
Reimer kicked one early. He did
yep.
too. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for that. Number 4. I've actually got that down, so I've missed that in my read through. Great game here. Well done, Terrigal Avoca. Nelson Bay stuck at it, but Terrigal Avoca way too good. Lucas Holmes, Subway, time to make a decision.
Well, we threw up, 4 or 5 names there, David, and you, I think, hit the nail on the head. I think you said, I'll backtrack again. Thomas obviously kicked 8 goals, widespread of goal kickers, and you came up with a few actually. I think Fleming's right up there. Thomas is obviously going to be right up there with 8 goals as well. David, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts, Creswell.
Creswell?
Yeah, I think Creswell. I know that Brandon Thomas. It's either Creswell or Thomas. So yep. I'm happy for you to make a decision.
Yeah, I'm happy with Creswell.
Thomas Creswell wins the Subway Morissette Player of the Match. With thanks to our great friends Kendall and Justin from Bar TV, who've done a wonderful job as always. Had a couple of technical issues earlier, and they got some problems solved, which was great. Lucas Holmes, thank you again for your company as always.
Thank you very much, David.
Safe travelling tomorrow, are you?
Yes.
Safe travelling tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you around the corner from your joint at Royal Hillsborough. Will be a beauty. All right.
Thank you, David.
Take care. Thank you very much for a good call. On behalf of Lucas Holmes, this is the Hunter Haval Black Diamond Cup. We're finishing off here at Hilton Moore Oval in East Gosford. My name's David Redden. We'll see you next week from Hillsborough.
G'day, Rabbit and Julie Goodwin here from Star 104.5.
We love the Central Coast and we love our local sport, especially the Hunter Haval Black Diamond AFL.
You're looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval and their range of affordable SUVs.
We want to give a massive thank you to all of the Hunter Haval Black Diamond AFL sponsors.
Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club,
GE Industrial Solutions, ISC,
Prime 7,
Bar TV Sports,
The Entertainment Grounds,
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery,
Marksmen Workforce.
Please support our sponsors that support us.
And we'll catch you on the radio 6 to 9 weekdays on Star 104.5.
Introducing luxury you won't have to sell the house for. The new Haval H6 from $29,990.